Hey everybody, and welcome. Sorry about us laughing. We were just goofing off. Okay. Why did my screen just go yellow here?
It likes you.
Why isn't it starting over there?
Yellow is a happy color.
It's a little delayed.
Everybody calm down.
Good lord. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, sorry about this weird intro, but we're back, everybody. Joining us today is, of course, Ingot, as you guys can see on the screen here.
Hi, Ingot.
Hi.
And then, of course, we have Puganator2020
Hi.
and BilliePetal joining us back again for this review. This is actually their request for an episode. Hold on. Give me a second.
Done, Puganator.
There we go. Yeah, unfortunately, it was an echo.
I'm getting scolded.
There's burning hot.
The last thing we want is
forward.
people hearing an echo, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's true. Man, that drives me nuts.
But yeah, PhoenixFire may join us. It really does depend on if he'll make it or not. But today we're going to be reviewing two Tim Curry films. Two films, in my personal opinion, that have defined his career.
Absolutely.
Which is one, Rocky Horror Picture Show, and the second one, Legend. Honestly, I'm really excited because I actually just watched the movie with these guys. And
Which one?
Both
of them actually.
Oh, okay.
I watched both of them. Calm down there, Ingot.
Yeah, he'd never seen it before, either of them.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say, wait, which one? You said It. We're doing two movies, so.
I have to say the watching Mr. Retro watch Rocky Horror for the first time
Was very
was
interesting.
Great.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
so pleased to have experienced that in life.
Yes.
Definitely an experience, we'll say that.
Yeah.
But,
Wait, what was your first movie that you ever saw him in, though? To be properly horrified, I need to hear your first movie you remember.
Probably It.
Yeah.
But let us not forget
and then to
Home
see him
Alone
as
2.
Dr. Frankenfurter.
No,
yeah,
I
it's a
watched
little
it before Home Alone 2.
Okay.
Home Alone 2, I kind of
Oh, yeah.
suspected he would act like that.
scary.
Where in It, I had no freaking clue. And I was actually terrified of that clown when I was a
He's
kid.
super creepy.
Yeah, he is.
Nowadays, I appreciate his performance. Well done. Because, good lord, there will be no other Pennywise that'll be as scary as his.
Absolutely.
Even when I watched
New one was pretty good, but
I watched the other one,
Bill
I was
Skarsgård is pretty
completely
good.
insulted.
Well, he's like a different version. You gotta look
I
at it like
don't
the Joker
care.
character. Like all
Wait,
the
hold on.
incarnations bring
hold the
something
phone,
different.
everybody. Have you read the book before you start critiquing the newest movie?
Yes,
Oh, you didn't like it.
I did not like it.
You didn't like
The
it?
miniseries was
happy
much
with Paul
better.
Bunyan?
Oh, the miniseries was really good.
The miniseries,
I haven't
yes,
seen the
I know
miniseries.
it does have a few flaws. It has a lot of Stephen King tropes.
Part 1, 2, and
But
3.
again,
Oh, well,
all of his books do. Good lord.
Right.
And yeah, here's the thing. That movie takes the book into an extreme more than the actual miniseries does.
Oh, I haven't read the book.
I've read the book
read
and watched
It
both
book?
sets of movies.
No, the
Even parts 1 and 2 of the new
book?
It. I
there-
did not like it as much.
We're confused. Is the book based on? Are you talking about the book for the movie?
The book was
Or the
it was first the
miniseries?
book, then it was the miniseries, then it was the part 1 and 2.
Oh.
So, like, the original movie, he's calling it a miniseries. It was just a movie that got split into two halves on TV back in 1990. So,
Oh, yeah,
it
I
was
saw
a long
that.
time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was a newer one that was in theaters not too long
Yes,
ago.
I saw
but
that
it's almost
too.
like, Nathaniel will understand, it's almost like they took elements from the book and put different ones into both movies. So you
Yeah.
almost have to watch
Oh.
all of the movies to get the idea, and then it's still lacking. The book is still better.
Oh, of course.
But, yeah, I think the movie. Okay, we should stop talking about it. We should just do it, but talk about
Alright, I know, but first I am going to address this. For a lot of you guys who are wondering if I'm going to do a review, I will. But I am going to let you guys know right now, I prefer the TV miniseries over that stupid part 1 and 2.
Oh yeah, me too. But I get props to the new movie too. It also gave me a couple scares, so I'm gonna give it that. I'm not
Yeah.
scared of the first movie.
Yeah.
The second movie, because I wasn't expecting it, I got some scares. The first one is like almost like let's put it on before bed, dear. It's really nice to watch. I
I'm
love
sorry.
The first one. Like,
Actually, this is where I'm going to actually disagree with you. I actually got more scares from part 1 than 2.
In the remake?
Yeah, in the remakes. But only because there was a couple of the scares that actually were genuine.
Well,
Where other ones were almost so damn goofy and the CG was just so damn noticeable, I was like, what was the point?
it is a little. You know what? It's hard to watch because Puganator had me watch the original movie with Tim Curry, and then we watched the remake And the remake, because I knew what was going to happen, you know, it really wasn't that scary. I think had I watched the remake first, I would have been like, oh, he's pretty damn creepy.
Yeah, I think he's still creepy.
Bill Skarsgård did a pretty good job.
Yeah,
all right. Here's the thing, though. If you were a child, if you were a child and you saw this clown out of nowhere, which one would you be more attracted to? The one that looks like a fucking demon, or do you want to go to the one that actually looks like and acts like a clown?
Until he gets his teeth out. Yeah, no, Tim Curry was enticing as far as that goes.
Thank you!
Yeah.
So that's why he's more threatening.
Okay, let's go on to
I'm sorry.
Doing.
Trust me, one day we should do our next review on it, because I personally really want to talk about that one and just how much the new movies piss me off to most of the degree.
Well, and you know what? Tim Curry was great in that one. That's the first one I know him from. So since we did this, we should do it next, just logically.
Yeah. All right, so first of all, we're going to take a look at Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's the first movie we're going to review. Honestly, it's one of the few movies I know of that just absolutely does a fantastic job. Honestly, I know a lot of people love this movie for several major reasons. One of them is majorly, and I think that both movies have to give credit to, is Tim Curry.
Oh, yeah.
The dude just absolutely...
He carries them. He does.
He carries the film so damn much, it's almost like he's literally lifting on its back and carrying it all the way to the end.
Yeah.
I can't believe it looks so good in drag. Like, amazing.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah.
That's one sexy beast right there. Absolutely.
Yeah, but he's only sexy in drag. Like, his other roles is like...
Kind of sexy as darkness. He has an allure, don't you think?
Yeah, he does, kind of, in a weird
only
way.
his voice.
He's like poetic and, you know...
gravelly.
Right. Like, ooh.
Alright, but yeah.
I don't know words. Ugh.
I know. Angsty, gravelly.
Right.
But yeah, these are the two films that basically defined his career and who he is as an actor.
I believe that when Rocky Horror came out, it like when it originally came out, it really didn't go over well with people. Like,
I'm sure it would.
Like it really
because of the
derailed.
era.
Right. It really derailed everyone's careers.
It's like a cult classic.
It is.
Yes,
now people are like, "What the hell, you guys?" You know,
well,
it's fantastic.
It was even then two people that recognized
that were
that
outside the norm.
Yes, exactly.
This is like
but
one
there were
hell of a
so
piece
many
of art.
people that were not.
Right. It
and
derailed.
we're just
My
like,
fiance
wow.
and his family love this movie, and they're always at like family reunions or family get-together. They put on the Time Warp and then they dance to it.
Oh my god, that's crazy!
I know.
Props to Mr. Ingot over there. That's hot.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I remember her telling me about that. It was
That's
pretty cool.
crazy.
Oh yeah. As you can see, there's a lot of great memories with this one.
Yeah.
Alright, so what would you guys give a score 1 to 50? What would you give this particular film?
Oh, I'm gonna give it a 50. Straight
Yeah,
up.
50.
So you guys are giving it a
Totally
50?
Name one movie that's
Anything like it.
anywhere near. They're
True.
fucking aliens.
What about you, Ingot?
I don't know. I only watched it for the second time last night. I had to refresh my memory because I'm not actually, like, my fiance got me into this movie. I was totally not on my radar. So, I'll give it a 40 and see if you guys can change my mind. It was pretty good and up there, but also it's a little creepy.
It's a little crazy.
Actually, the strange thing is, I'm with her. I gotta give it a 40.
But it's a classic, though.
It is. Hold on. It is a classic. Don't
And
get
the
me wrong.
music-
I'm willing to agree with you on that. But there are a few flaws in the movie I am going to address.
It is crazy. Definitely.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
It's hard to follow. Randy was telling me stuff, and he's
Okay,
watched the movie
48.
over and over
Change
and
mine
over
to
again.
48. I know. I'm just
Oh my
bringing
God.
it down 2 points. That's it.
Oh, you're betting.
There's a bunch of story in this movie
PhoenixFire's
that's
on.
really hard to actually
it is?
catch unless you rewatch
Hey
it
there.
a million times because it's so weird and musical and like.
Oops.
What happened?
Shit, it disconnected.
Oh.
Hold on.
Sorrowful.
No, don't worry. Hold on. I got it. There we go. Yeah, sorry about that. Unfortunately, I glitched out for some reason there. Ring. Damn
Calm
you.
down.
You stupid Discord. I even clicked on ring, but instead it clicked call for some reason. I'm like, why?
We're discussing Rocky Horror Picture Show first and Legend second.
Yep.
PhoenixFire.
Yep, and he'll be joining us. I just called him.
Sizzling jalapeno.
What?
That's funny. I like that.
Sizzling
I love
jalapeno.
everybody's names.
That's funny. That is funny.
Hold on. Hold on, I'm gonna try to ring him up again.
Are you sure he wants to be on?
Oh yeah, he's fine. He was trying to call me.
Oh, gotcha. I don't know anything.
What budget?
It's okay,
is
we
it?
know.
Yeah. Oh, maybe this. Hold on, give me a second. I'll be right back. Hello?
Yeah, I see I got summoned.
Oh yeah. You wanted to join in for the review?
Yeah, what are we talking about?
We were talking about Rocky Horror Picture Show and Legend.
I'll gladly do Rocky Horror, but Legend, yeah.
Oh, of
Okay,
course.
Lost Cause.
All right.
Wow.
Where is he from? Ireland?
Hold on for just a
English?
moment, dude.
Where?
I'm gonna try to get you to join in a call. All right.
Alright.
All right. So stand by.
Sounds Scottish. Scottish or English?
There we go. I'm back. I am now trying to ring him up again. All right. I have PhoenixFire right here. All right. So he will not be joining us in the review of Legend since I don't think he's ever seen the movie.
Okay, cool.
All right. There he is. All right. So PhoenixFire, on a score of 1 to 50, what would you rate Rocky Horror Picture Show?
45.
45? All right, that makes sense. I was like, 5? I'm like,
I
what?
know, I heard 5 too. I was like, whoa, that's pretty bad.
And to answer your question, I am not Irish. I am half Scottish and half British.
That's what I was hearing.
Awesome.
I was hearing the Scottish. I
to
could
go.
tell.
I want to go to
The
Scotland one
thing
of these
is,
days.
I was born and raised in Canada.
Nice,
Oh,
nice.
Cool.
I'm gonna start now. I identify more as a British person than I do Canadian at times because it's more fun.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Hey.
for sure.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Well, I love your accent wherever you're from.
Yeah, no kidding. us Americans are weird like that.
Yeah, actually, I have noticed that.
Every accent is unique. It's like a fine wine.
Very true.
Amen. Red wine, red wine.
All right.
Vodka.
All right, so here we go. God bless it. All right, so we're gonna start off with story, and this is actually where I'm gonna be a lot more on the criticizing one. I think story is just batshit insane, to a point where I just can't understand anything that happens in the movie. I'm sorry, I gotta give it a low score of 5.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Hold on, I'm not saying the entire movie's gonna be like that. It's just the story itself is gonna be my pain in the butt.
Okay, you
They're
really
trans-
upset
trans-
BilliePetal a great deal here.
Do I give a shit?
It's like holy
Okay, I'm on your
unique.
side though. I'll be with you.
Thank you!
Oh wow, you guys can both.
Wait,
do
no,
it.
hold on. I've already addressed this. You just hold your horses.
Yeah, look,
Okay, so maybe the story is not as clear. Perhaps.
not as clear
It's
my ass.
Wrong.
Seriously, kiss my big fat white ass.
Wow.
There's no way the story is ever gonna make any sense to me, no matter how many times I watch it.
What do you
We
mean?
paused
They're
the movie
aliens
last
from
night
another
after he said
planet
something to me.
creating life
Who's-
and having a good time.
It goes from one storyline to the next.
Wait, what did you say?
No, Retro. If I'm kissing your white ass, I want paid for damages.
Yeah, no
Oh,
kidding.
God.
Thank you. Yeah, I agree.
I was wondering if someone was gonna say that. I was
I
actually
love you
wondering,
dearly.
I was
That's-
wondering if
that's
someone was
why
gonna
I'm
finally
being
say
a
that.
smartass.
Oh, good lord. This is why I love this show. It's just, we always have fun here. But yeah,
I keep you on your toes.
if I'm gonna be honest though, when it comes down to the movie story, I just never could get it. No matter how many times I watch the film, it's just gonna keep confusing me over and over again.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I just don't think it's because here's the thing. I've seen stories that were crazier, and yet it still made sense to a certain
That's
degree.
true. It isn't.
This one
it isn't
doesn't.
very clearly like this is the plot and this is the way we are traveling on
Right.
the plot.
It's
I get
very
you infer.
yeah.
It's more like,
Yeah.
here we go, take a stop. How about we turn this way? No, let's turn this way. No, how about we
That's
go this
sort
way?
of like-
How about up this hill?
but
How about
you're
down
like-
this valley?
Yeah, but you're like clearly defining Frankenfurter's personality. Like,
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
Almost like his character like pushes the story along, and that's why it's like total
Because
chaos.
he's like schizoid.
he is a little.
Yeah.
True.
He's
He's
kinda out there.
creative.
But all
He's
of this
like-
is still hard to follow. It's like you're watching this, it's all in song. We paused the movie so many times last night just so Mr. Ingot could explain to me what the hell was going on because he's seen it a million times.
Thank you!
He understands
Oh,
the
that's
story.
All
And
right.
he'll be like, and I'm
Ingot,
like,
I like
wait,
that.
what? That happened? Did I miss that? Did that actually happen? Oh yeah, that happened before. I'm like, okay, fine. And then by
Okay.
the end, I was like, wait, that's Janet? That's Brad? What? Those are the same people? Like, it was just it was
Okay,
very
but
hard.
you know what though? you have to admit, like, if a story is super boring and clear and you know exactly what's going to happen and what's happening, like, isn't it not that interesting?
Here's the
No,
thing,
I
though.
don't want that either, but I just want to know what the hell happened at the end of the movie.
Exactly.
And when
That's
it
fair.
ends,
Yeah,
you're like,
there's-
what did I just watch?
Yeah, there's a difference between a story that is predictable, between a story that makes no fucking sense,
Right.
and a story that is very coherent.
Okay, fine. I will give the score a 9 for story.
I'll give it an 8 because that's actually the only thing out of the movie that I probably
All right, so
Take issue
8,
with.
take issue
9.
with.
Yeah. But you have to admit, it is one of the most wildly unique stories.
Oh, most
Oh yes, of
definitely.
course.
Ever
I'm not.
told.
I'm not gonna deny
So
that. But at the same
credit where
time,
credit is due.
true.
Yeah.
But at the same
Fucking
time,
crazy,
if you
weird original.
yeah, but here's the thing. At least make it coherent, because
Right.
it had so many damn storylines that by the time the ending happened, I was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
That's fair.
So that's the reason why. What would you? What? Hey, Ingot, what would you score? Story of 1
I'm
to
gonna
10.
give it a 5, just because. Stop it! It has a story. I'll give it that. But if I can't understand it on the first watch, and I have to rewatch it over and over and have it explained to me, that part of it's gone for me. Like, I want to be able to interpret it on my own. I'm a smart person. Why did I have
yes.
a hard time with this movie? Like, oh my god! Like,
Yeah, but isn't that kind of like part of the like joy of
The
film
allure of it?
film watching? Is that you get to discover new shit with every watch?
That's not necessarily a
I'm more of
good
book
thing,
buff.
though.
I'm not a movie buff. I'm a
Alright.
book
Okay,
hound.
here's-
I know.
I know.
that's true.
I'm a movie buff, so here's my argument. Look at Prince of Egypt. That one had a coherent story, it had great characters, great music, and every time I look at the film and I see something new, I feel like I've discovered something amazing. Where in this one, it's like, why didn't they explain
You're
this
just
before?
Confused. You're just confused.
It's
Okay.
just
I
absolute
understand.
confusion
I
there.
get your point.
So, PhoenixFire, what would you rate this one for story?
10.
Of a score of 1 to 10.
10.
Woo!
Thank you.
You know, 10. 1, 0.
God bless it.
Now, you probably want to listen. Why is Phoenix giving it a perfect score? Why does the story get that? Am I right?
Yeah. Alright,
Hang on.
now let's go on to
Explain
the...
yourself.
Alright,
Okay. Why do I give it a 10?
yeah, why?
Hang on. Here's why I give it a 10. Okay, the story isn't supposed to make sense. You're not supposed to follow it or understand it. It's bizarre like that. You're supposed to just watch it, have a good laugh, and just know it's all bullshit, no nonsense. You're not supposed to
Experience
have a
it.
linear experience watching it.
Yes. You have to experience it, like she said. You
It's
have
like experiencing Frankfurter.
to, yeah.
That's
Look
why
at
I...
that. Look at that,
hold on.
Phoenix.
That is why
Nicely
I'm
put.
giving it a 5. For the story being just absolute shit, the experience, though, is something that got my attention.
Okay.
Okay.
So it
It's
broke
like
even in
all
that
the different
case.
storylines. Yeah, all the different storylines. It makes you like, okay, yeah, this storyline doesn't make sense with the movie. Why is it in it? But at the same time, it's like, you know what? It's just something different you don't see every day in a movie. And
True.
they wanted to push the envelope by doing it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
they did
There
literally.
it is.
yeah,
Yes.
Alright.
yeah, for sure.
So, now we're going on to characters. Okay, now this one... Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. For as much as I love the characters, the only one that really deserves any credit is freaking Tim Curry.
Wow.
Everyone
No,
else sucks.
I loved
No, they don't.
Magenta.
No, Rip Rap. Okay, I have a story behind Rip Rap. You get to me, I'll tell you some fun stuff. But no.
Oh, no.
I liked I give it a 10 because I liked Magenta.
It's
I
they're like.
liked Meatloaf in it.
I fucking love Eddie.
I like the
love
dermatologist. He's trying to get you to understand the story, but he's just
Right.
making it more confusing.
Exactly.
What's going on?
Every
He's like, you're just
character
like-
is like a different perspective. You know what I mean? You have to respect.
Yeah,
that.
and none of them match up.
He
That's
does-
life, though. You know what I mean?
Meatloaf
It's an
does throw
experience.
kind of an anchor in there to where it's like everybody's like,
Why the hell is he
where
in this
the hell did
movie?
this come? I still love him and I like him in the movie, but it does kind of like, what?
Wow. I don't think we can be friends anymore.
Yeah, this is what I'm gonna give you.
No, I
Eddie
still
is
give
my
it a 10
favorite.
though. I still
Okay.
give it a 10 though.
Okay.
So.
I don't know. I'm not gonna give it a 10. Like I
And
said,
another thing, one thing too for the characters is like each has a different view of the world, how they perceive it.
Yes.
Oh, definitely.
True.
See? It's
Definitely.
Like,
You
it's
see
like
it
a,
all
it's
in
like a
I'm not gonna-
melting pot
here's the
of
thing. I'm not gonna give it a low score. It's just I'm
It's not gonna get a
mainly
10.
most of
Right,
the
I know.
points are mainly gonna go to Tim Curry.
Well, it's like,
because he steals the show
Well,
from
of
immediately as
course
soon as he
he
starts
does.
in.
He's
So
the
but
main
it's
character.
like him taking you into his
I thought the main
world and you
characters were the couple
experiencing-
that we saw in the beginning.
No.
That's a
Yeah,
mislead.
you can't hold it
That's
to
a
Brad
mislead.
and Janet. You can't hold it to them.
No.
They're like the audience. They're just along for the
Yes,
ride.
they
you know
are.
what I
They're
mean?
just along for the
Experiencing
ride.
all the crazy around
For
them.
sure.
You-
Yep.
They're the,
Go
they're the
ahead.
victims in a bizarre story that they never thought
Yes.
they'd ever enter
Right.
into life.
Yes.
True.
Yeah, they're the
They're
victims for
they're
sure.
the audience.
Yeah.
You know what I
Alright.
mean? They're
All right,
us.
so
They're
we already.
like we were. How does this make sense?
Right.
What about you?
I'm gonna give it a 10. I
10?
think it's crazy, weird, like batshit insane, unique, interesting. They're all different perspectives. They all have a different like thought process.
I will watch
think
Rocky
they're really
Horror
well
every
formed for how
single
little-
time it comes
Right.
on, ever.
For how little we get of their character
You just said
development,
that about
their
World War Z.
personalities
I'm not
are
gonna.
distinct.
I'm not gonna trust your
So-
judgment. But anyway.
What did you just
You
say?
are in trouble, Missy.
What did you say?
She
Basic-
said, I don't trust you
Oh, you
because
heard me.
because we watch World War Z every time it comes on.
Wow, that's offensive.
Yes.
I'm
very
sorry.
offensive.
Even I don't watch that movie every single time. Just maybe once.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it's
Same.
comfort food.
I'm like that with
alright?
Ferris Bueller. Anytime that comes on or whatnot.
Okay, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Yeah.
That's a really good one.
Yeah. I'm going to say
You
yes.
guys are all gonna hate me. I haven't actually sat down and watched that movie ever.
What the hell is going on?
Okay,
with
no-
that?
No, trust
What
me,
are
I
you
haven't seen that
doing?
movie in years. So yeah, I'm with you on that one.
It's on Netflix. Go watch it tonight.
I will
Is it
definitely.
there in full form or do they cut shit out? Because I don't want to do that. No.
No, Netflix keeps all of it in.
Thank
They don't
God.
skip any of it.
All right. So we already found out from BilliePetal and Puganator their score. What about yours, PhoenixFire? What would you rate it 1 to 10 for characters?
Another
Characters.
Another 10?
Okay, for characters, I'm gonna give it a 10 because the characters were awesome.
Thank
That was
you.
the for me the movie's saving grace because I had such a hard time following the story. The characters were fun and just like good to look at, like Tim Curry himself, and then
And those
also
fish
Riff Raff. Like I don't know,
Mm.
he's a good one. There's a family inside joke about like Ingot's sister maybe looking like Riff Raff a little bit, and like it wasn't, and it was his mom. His mom made the burn, and it was
Oh,
awesome.
that's
so now.
dark.
I know, so now it will never go away. And now I was watching this movie last night and I couldn't help but laugh. Like,
Oh,
she's a
that's
beautiful
cold,
person,
man.
but I could see
Alright.
it, but I could see the, yeah.
For me, I'm actually gonna give it a 7. And the only reason why is that the only reason why that I'll ever watch that movie is because of Tim Curry. Sadly enough,
No, he is amazing in it.
he is literally the
Oh,
only
he's
reason
so
why I
fearless.
watched the movie.
He's fearless.
He
Listen,
is. He's
I'm gonna be honest. I give it a 10 because I don't know if I should say this live, but I'll be honest. A long time ago, I went to a gay bathhouse, and I could resonate with Janet. I was young, naive. It's something new I never experienced, and the song "Touch It, Touch It, Touch Me" came on, and I turned to my friend, and I was a smartass, and I'm mimicking the movie. I'm like, come on, you guys, touch it, touch it, touch me, and I'm singing along with the song, and he's looking at me like, you know this song? Like, yeah.
That's funny.
I was making him so uncomfortable. So I'm like, I recognize this song because I've seen the movie, so yeah.
That's
It is,
funny.
you know,
That's funny.
this movie has become like an icon of basically just being true to yourself and being unafraid.
True.
You know?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
that's why it's so
Harnessing
really
your
is
own
popular
chi.
among
That's the
the
reason why.
outsiders of
That's the
world,
reason
you
why
know?
I'm. Screw. I'm gonna give it an 8 for
Thank
characters.
you.
Only because that, when it comes down to it,
He's an
you
icon.
don't normally ever really see characters like that ever in film,
Fearless.
especially back then.
Yeah. Oh,
So, well
even
done on
now,
that one.
Honestly.
There's
All
always
right.
that one movie or TV show. There's always going to be that one character we're always going to connect with.
Yeah.
True.
It's that
Yes.
small bond.
Especially since
I feel like,
what?
I was gonna say, I feel like I kind of missed out a little bit because everybody watched it younger. I actually went to like a local like showing of this where it was put on again by like the people too. At like 16 years old, and I was so traumatized by the people that attended the showing that I didn't actually get anything from the performance because I'd never been there, I'd never watched it. They made me put a big red V on my forehead, and I spent the whole evening avoiding females trying to make out with me. So
Oh my God.
it was just very strange.
Well,
That's
you know what?
funny.
It
It's
is that Halloween fan favorite. It's like,
It
there's
is.
something about
It
it.
is.
People
True.
love it.
Yeah, we did it. We dressed up and we did all the acting out and stuff in the theaters back when I was a kid, and it was fun.
I think that
yeah,
the goal of
I was
the
never
movie
alive
really
at that
is,
time.
Like in the live experience, Ingot, the reason it like was so overwhelming for you is because we are pretty introverted people. We are book people, And when you're in that world, you know, the goal is to be free and wild, and whatever insane thing
But
you want to do,
We're
you fucking do
incapable
it.
of that, though.
A little bit.
100%.
I know. But I
Yeah.
mean, I had multiple females try to make out with me, and I had somebody in the closet show me his tiny little pecker that night, and it was very traumatizing, and I still remember it. And I'm just like, as a kid who hadn't been exposed to much, I just was out for a night of fun and did not know what I was walking into. So.
Right,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
totally understandable.
Actually, it just reminded me of another funny story. You say about being boat people. My first introduction to Rocky Horror, before I knew what Rocky Horror was through Archie Comics when they did a parody of it. And I'm like,
Oh, no way.
They did.
Oh,
and it's
no
like,
way.
It's like, this is interesting. It's like how they were making fun of the characters. I'm like, this has got to be a parody of something. And when you're a kid, you're like, what's this a parody of? And it's like, you're trying to ask your parents questions and they don't want to tell you because they know what it is. And it's like, tell me.
Also, as a kid, you don't know the word parody, so you're like, Mom, why do I know this from somewhere? What is this? Like,
Very
Exactly.
true.
It's like, I've seen this before, but where have I seen it?
Right.
You want to know the strange thing of how I figured out about Rocky Horror Picture Show? Was a meme that was going around at the time. It was basically someone was playing a video and he got tricked, and as soon as it switched over to the next video, basically it's I'm a sweet transvestite was playing, and the dude started screaming and running out of the room. I'm like, what the hell's that from?
Right.
I actually looked it up and I'm like, okay, this is interesting. I never got to see the movie afterwards though, even though I literally told myself I should try to watch it, but
Right.
never really got a chance because
It's a trip.
yeah.
It's an
No, it's more
experience.
like at the time we were moving over to Connecticut, so
Right.
there was no real reason why I would go and watch a movie when we were already moving somewhere else.
Right.
And then I guess it just went out of the back of my mind. It just completely forgot.
But just like Frankfurter, he'll creep back in.
Dear God.
You know, like some.
As long as it's on H.R. Geiger's Nightmare, I'm good.
Oh, yikes.
I'll say now, at least you're not like some of the modern day people for Rocky Horror. They first found out about Rocky Horror through Glee.
That's true, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Glee
Yeah.
actually did a parody of one of them.
Glee did a parody of it.
No way.
well, okay,
Yeah.
that being said, Glee did a lot of good stuff, and if they can expose the younger generation to other things, I'm all for it. But yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was one thing I think maybe they should have left out, but whatever. Now let's go on to music. Let's go on to music. And now this one I'm gonna give a straight up 10
10,
because
10,
the
10.
songs are all
10.
the songs are amazing, and the
It's-
singing
it's
is actually
iconic,
pretty good.
too.
And actually,
Yes.
for what it's worth, Tim Curry has an amazing voice.
Yes, he
Oh,
does.
yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
It's hella iconic too.
Yes.
Like people may not know what the hell the time warp is from,
Right.
but they know the time warp.
Yep.
Yeah, they
Yep.
do.
Yep. So
True.
everyone's gonna agree it's 10.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Really no discussion there.
Exactly. 'Cause
Right?
actually, just to make up for it, what is your guys' favorite song from that one?
Ooh.
Well, you just heard mine. You just heard mine. Touch it, touch it, touch me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on there.
That-
I'm not
that's
gonna
that
lie.
is a great
When I'm
song.
horny
It
and
is.
aroused and I want to get someone's attention, I'll start a couple words from that song to get their attention.
That's
Hey,
funny.
whatever works for you, man.
Whatever works. What
Again.
about your guys'?
I like the
I should do that as a
song.
TikTok.
Probably the time warp. Yeah.
See how many
Time
people
warp?
like
Although
worried and scared.
I like Eddie and Columbia, both their little songs that they do. I like
Yeah,
them as
yeah.
well.
Yep.
They're-
And then
they're two
so
of my
yeah, we
favorite
got
areas.
Time Warp. We got that Touch Me song. What about you? What about you, Ingot?
Oh no, it's Time Warp. I was Time Warp.
Time Warp. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
Another good one you
okay.
too.
For as
Damn
much
it,
as I know a lot of people are gonna think of me as weird, my personal favorite is that I'm a sweet transvestite.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I like the song.
That's
Yeah,
not
it
weird.
is.
That's
No.
awesome.
It's catchy.
awesome
It's
song.
good.
It is.
Yeah,
For
it
one,
is
it's
catchy.
one. Well, for one thing, it's one of the more unique songs in the track, and second, Tim Curry's voice is honestly the best one out of everyone that sings in the movie.
Right.
No, yeah.
You
No,
know,
I just
I
watch
have
him
to
he does
dance
sing
to
really
it
well.
and stuff.
I
He
have to
sings
give-
well, he dances well, he does drag well, he
Oh,
does
yeah, he
everything
does it
well.
well.
So
Yeah.
in this
So
particular
well.
case, I
I
agree.
have to say that the Damn It Janet song,
Yeah.
that gets stuck in my head and
Yeah.
will creep up when people are talking to me. Like, if somebody says Damn It, and then I think Janet.
Yeah.
That one
I
stays
watched
in me,
that
so
movie
I
right
don't
before
know.
bed last night, and trying to go to sleep, all I heard was Time Warp, like, let's do the time. I'm like, no, I just want to sleep. I want a Time Warp right now.
I was actually up till 4 a.m. after I watched that film because every time I went to sleep, I kept hearing that sweet transvestite song. I'm like, what the f?
You were afraid to go to sleep because you were afraid you'd wake up as one.
No, more like I was afraid that Tim Curry was gonna show up out of nowhere.
Hey, you know, don't knock until you try it, bud.
Another
You
thing
know?
too with Damn It, Janet. They got lucky with getting away with that on the censors.
That is really true. How the hell did they get away with that?
For a
Maybe
movie
they
in the
didn't
70s, like,
understand.
that was like controversial. Just by saying a simple damn, they had to bleep it out.
True.
Now, in this
Right.
day and
If it was the
you could say pretty much
70s,
anything on TV.
yeah, if it was the 70s, I would completely understand because around that time was when people were starting to explore that.
Yeah.
Where in the 80s,
Plus it was
that's when it
taboo.
really started becoming controversial at that time. Nowadays,
And
it's
it was
pretty much
taboo,
normal.
We're all accepting.
Exactly. The world.
No.
All right. Yes. For as much as this world can be a little bit more screwed up, that nowadays you have to admit it's a lot more accepting than it ever was back in the
Right.
as early as the 90s.
Right. We're slow and steady making our way.
And another thing too, we have to remember for the compared to the movie. Originally, Rocky Horror was a play in the UK before it became a movie.
Oh
So
no.
we
way.
remember what
Oh, I
was it
believe
like
it.
before they decided to adapt it into a
Which is-
full-length feature.
Which is a smart idea,
That's
honestly.
wild.
Yeah, a lot of movies like
Yeah.
a lot of movies like
Grease.
Hello Dolly, Grease, all of them, a lot of
Mamma
them,
Mia.
yeah, Mamma Mia, all got their starts from
Theater.
stage and theater plays.
Oh nice.
Even Hunchback of Notre Dame was originally a stage play,
Right.
as well as, of course, Sweeney Todd. And that one, actually, out of all the stories that have been made, that one, along with Rocky Horror, hasn't changed from its original material since they started.
Right.
However, the reason why Hunchback is more impressive is that story started all the way back in the, I'm gonna guess as late as the early 1600s.
The Hunchback is actually like based on a real story.
Yeah.
Like that's not like fiction.
It's
the other
based on-
stuff
yeah.
I think is all fiction.
It's also based on the corruption of the church. Again, we could do a whole review on that particular movie, and I say we should definitely try one of these
Yeah.
days.
Absolutely.
Alright, so,
You know what's funny?
what?
Well, Tim Curry actually played Frankenfurter in the play version before he actually took it to
That's
be in
what
the
I
movie.
thought.
He was
That
actually
makes
the
sense.
The original Frankenfurter.
It's no wonder that
So
he
he-
got
Curry's
so
been-
into the role.
Right.
He's been with the movie. He's been with Rocky Horror since he began in it till now. And
Nice.
that's pretty impressive if you think of it.
That's
Uh,
cool.
a pretty
True.
good feat.
That's
Cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And hey, didn't they actually do a remake of Rocky Horror not too long ago where he wasn't actually in it, but he was like the narrator or something?
Yes,
Was
they
it
did.
He's
Live?
a dermatologist.
Like,
Yeah.
live on NBC
One of the
or
live action
something?
things they were doing.
Yeah. I
Yeah, it
didn't
was
watch
live on
it. I
TV.
heard mixed reviews about it.
I
I
saw a
felt like
little
I'd
bit of
only
it.
just seen the original,
Terrible.
so.
I actually did watch that one, and
I think they
yeah,
rushed it
it's
too
not as
soon.
good as the
I thought it
original.
was terrible. I saw like from
Nothing
the
ever
time warp
is.
forward. Like it was horrible.
No, that's not entirely true.
It was
There
just
are
boring. It was
some
just not-
sequels that are better than the
It
original.
just didn't have the fire
Shrek 2,
that the
all the way.
film
No,
has.
sorry.
Wait, what movie?
Absolutely. It just didn't have
Shrek
the
2. I actually love Shrek 2 a lot, but I love Shrek, don't get me wrong, but Shrek 2 hit all the right buttons for me. I was like, this movie's so much better. No.
Terminator 2,
I
Judgment
remember when I
Day.
came out to see this, I had to go see
Aliens.
the opening weekend. I'm not gonna lie.
aliens that-
Well, yeah.
I probably begged my mom, like, I don't want to go with you guys in the mall. I don't want to go do this now. I'm like, I just have $10 to go see Shrek 2 and have some popcorn for an hour and a half.
I
yeah,
know, right?
Yeah,
So-
that's fine. So I went to go see that. And then when
Yeah.
I came out, they're like, so how was the movie? I'm like, can I go see it again? It's
Yeah.
like, I just love Jennifer Saunders. I'm sorry. She's a
Oh
gift
my
to
god,
comedy.
she's amazing. And she's also in Coraline. You know that movie?
No freaking way!
Yeah, she's the voice of one of those like fat sisters.
Old
She's
ladies,
one of them.
the old
Yeah.
ladies.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, sake! Now I have to go back
That's
and watch that
funny.
movie again.
Just-
Alright,
Yeah,
hold on,
she's amazing.
guys,
And
guys,
the first-
guys,
the
we're
first
diverting
thing I
here.
know her from is actually Friends. I'm a Friends obsessed person. In season
No.
4,
Guys,
Ross and Emily's wedding, she is like
Guys!
mother. That is hilarious.
hello!
Yeah.
Guys,
That's sad.
guys, we'll talk about this after the review, okay? Because I think we got completely diverted. Oh, this is why I love this show. Sometimes we just don't know what's gonna happen.
That's all I'm saying. Before we go off topic, that's all I'm going to say. Jennifer Saunders sells go for AppTab. Drunken Adina.
What?
It's a British comedy show.
Oh.
She plays a funny
I'll-
drunk.
I'll have to check it out then.
Okay.
Alright, so next we're going to take a look at design. Now, again, this one's another high mark for me because the costumes, the actual mansion itself, all of them is pretty good.
No, yeah, it's totally unique, original.
Yeah, and then, honestly, the whole design, the look of the movie definitely speaks out its own personality more than most
Yeah.
musicals at the time. So, well done on that for that one.
All
So,
the
if I were to
touches
give it
in
a
the set
score,
and-
I would actually give the score a 10. Personally, for design qualities, is pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, same.
Solid 10.
Hello?
I'll give it a 9.
Are you get?
I'll give it an 8.
Wow.
Well, I'm shocked. All right, so PhoenixFire
I'm
9.
not an obsessed
and
fan.
8.
I'm trying to be fair here. Give me a break.
That's true. Yeah. All right, so we pretty much already figured out that one, but I'm actually kind of shocked. Why give it a 9 or an 8? I'm actually really curious.
Well, how can I describe it? Of course, look at the costumes. Of course, those were flawless and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And the sets and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But just sometimes, it's like, you feel like something was out of place. You just couldn't put your finger on it.
Okay, I could see that. Yeah, there's a couple of things that seemed out of place,
But like, look,
but nothing, for me, it was not that noticeable.
like the mansion, like, look at the mansion. Like, how does it have a freaking 2-story elevator? Like, that makes no sense.
Oh, I love that elevator though.
True.
It's
It's a
like,
unique set.
it looks like a Victorian style mansion, and it's got a 2-story elevator. Like, like it just feels like it didn't belong. But of course, it had to propel the scene for Frankenfurter, Brad, and all the affairs.
True.
Yeah.
All
Right.
right, so what about you, Ingot? Why would you give the score for Design 8?
Well, the design itself was good. Like, I liked what I saw visually, but it was kind of pulling over in the middle of the night, in the middle of a rainy, huge storm was kind of like cliche, and then, oh, look at this beautiful, huge, rainy mansion, the castle thing. Like, that's been done a million times before. The people that you encounter inside are very unique. I feel like the outside should have been a little more of a, like warning about what you're getting into. Like,
I like
it should have
that about
been
it,
more
though.
reflective of, I don't
Of the
know. I feel like
crazy going on in the
I feel like
inside?
the breakdown of the car on a rainy night, and it has been done so many times, but
That's a
also
trope.
I'm watching this.
It's a trope.
For the
Yeah,
first or
yeah,
second
I gotta
time
give
as
it
an
a-
adult,
Trope. Come on, that is a classic trope.
I feel like because of where they came from, and they're supposed to be like, aren't they supposed to be like an alien force
Yeah.
from another
Basically,
planet?
yeah,
Like,
I changed my
we
score
didn't
to a
even touch
9.
upon
That's
that
a
because
trope.
the story is
Hold
so
on.
hard to follow.
There's only one reason why I'm changing to a 9 is that she does make a point. It almost feels like something out of Scooby-Doo.
Excuse me, it's a trope.
One thing we should be glad, at least it wasn't a horror movie. It was a comedy.
That is
But
true.
it's like, no,
It
it's
could have
like
been
a horror
a cliche
comedy,
horror movie.
though.
No, there's
But
no
it is.
horror
If it had
elements
been
in
a
Yes,
there.
there
horror
is.
movie,
He's
okay.
like Frankenstein,
So if you
Dr.
cut out
Frankenstein.
all of the music and all of the stuff and you make it scary, this would have been a freaking scary horror
Thank
movie.
you.
Like, oh
It's
my
a
god.
horror
Like,
comedy.
Yeah, it's a
It's a
horror
horror
comedy.
comedy.
It's more of a comedy than a horror.
No, it's got total elements of Dr. Frankenstein creating a monster. It's just that he's creating a lover instead.
Here's the thing, though, is
Altering all the lives around him. It's a total horror, comedy, offshoot, random, weird, crazy shit
I'm still sticking
genre.
with it. All right,
So
now
Matt,
we're
you're just
Sorry.
being judgmental. You just don't like certain elements of the film, and you're not looking at it
F you.
calmly like a what is that? A reviewer would. That's a total.
Ooh.
It's,
but I
you
thought
throw that in
it
my
was
face
supposed to
all
be
the time
fucking
about being a
reviewing.
crazy
What the
fan.
hell are we doing here?
That's what you throw that in my face all the time about being a
What?
crazy fan and not reviewing professionally. You have to admit there are
I'm not a
elements
fan.
of
I am
classic
reviewing
horror.
professionally. I'm not a fan of Rocky Horror. The next movie, I'm a fan of Legend. That's pretty
No,
good.
I know.
Hit me.
Go
I'm
for
talking
it.
to
We do
Mr.
it.
I'm
Retro.
down for you guys.
Ingot, I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at Retro. I'm
Yeah,
yelling at
she's
Retro.
she's yelling at me.
Not
But
you,
here's the
Ingot.
thing, though. I at least give a fair and honest criticism.
I am
You
too.
are basically going for a fan
No,
right
I'm
here.
not. No, I'm not.
It only took me a while before I finally
You have to
convinced you
look-
the
you
story
have
was
to be
messed
honest.
up.
There are horror elements. Look what he locked a man in a freezer and then killed him and ate him and fed him to his guests. That's horror, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Also, as a woman in the night accosted to the couple separately
scary.
in a tent,
Yeah.
like,
See?
that's scary. I would want to, and sadly, they both went along with it. They went along with the midnight rape.
Well,
like,
it's also
Okay,
like a metaphor
okay,
for
okay.
self-exploration.
Okay,
but
first of all,
my goal right now is to prove how.
all right,
it's a
hold on.
horror, so-
Let's just go straight into atmosphere because that's basically what we're talking about here.
Yes.
okay, good job.
Because,
There's
good
a-
lord.
There is a like playful, like
This,
abstract element of horror that you must acknowledge. You
All right.
must.
here's the thing, though.
I refuse.
I will acknowledge there are some horror elements.
Yes.
However, if you
No,
want me to be personally honest with you, none of them are good.
What are you talking about?
Ah,
If they actually were scary, I would have jumped out of my seat. I actually got
not
creeped out
supposed
more
to
by
be
Tim
scary,
Curry than
though.
anyone else.
It's not supposed to be scary, though. It's supposed to expand your mind. It's supposed to fuck with your head and expand your mind at the same time.
Yeah, here's the thing, though. If I want something
Like
to do that, I would have watched Evil
self-exploration.
Dead.
No, you're not looking at it like it's this
We gotta
piece
talk
of
about that
art
movie
is
a different
supposed to
time.
be like self-exploration and
Yeah, that atmosphere I got, and I'm very proud of him for trying that
yeah,
something
but
new.
you have to mask that. You can't just, especially during that time period, you can't just be like, you know what, you should just
Yeah, and
you
like
wanna
I
touch
said,
someone of the
yes.
same sex, you should. You have to mask that.
I
in
know, and that
different elements like horror or comedy. You know what I mean?
was
Or
just
horror
going to
comedy.
say, I am going to agree with you on that.
Okay.
However, like I said, if they were going to make a horror comedy to cover up that type of message, then why not get at least some horror? There was almost none. And even with the murder scene, they almost looked a little too over the top.
Well, that's the point. It's supposed to be over the top. Because it's not
If you're
actually
going to do
supposed
it,
to
at least
scare
show
you.
some gore. Show the dead body.
Okay,
Instead, they cut
also
the scene
remember
out where they
what year
basically
this
walks
was.
out of that room
He's
and there's
covered
no
in
dead
blood.
body.
He's covered in blood.
They were-
Remember when he comes
He
out
can
of
still
the-
be alive.
You're,
Wait, we're
you're
still
being
talking about Rocky
irrational.
Horror, right?
I think you're just
Yes.
decided to be
Okay, so
argumentative.
remember
and that's
what
where
year
you're at.
this was. To get away with the transsexual shit they were showing, they couldn't put that much graphic murder stuff in. They would have never gotten that movie into theaters. Like, they had to
Valid
pick one or
point.
the other to go with.
How'd they
They
get
went
away
with
with all the
comedy.
sex scenes in the
It would have
movie?
been so extremely censored that it could have been degraded into a porno if they kept
Right.
one at it.
You have
Basically.
to admit there are little elements of several different genres that are covering up this message of true, honesty and acceptance. You have to. There are horror elements and
Yeah,
comedy
but
elements
here's the
and-
thing. You could do it so much better.
Yeah, but just like Ingot and PhoenixFire both said, if you go really wild with the gore and the horror factor, you can't. There'd be nothing they would allow in the theater. You know what I mean?
Okay, here's where I'm going to argue with this one. Let's take a look at the cartoon series Sonic SatAM or Sonic the Hedgehog, where they actually faced down Eggman back when they made it in the early 90s. Strange enough, that one had a very subtle message about protecting the environment and doing your best to support it, and it was all underlined very subtly while the action was going on, the story, the characters, and all that. If it did something on that type of level, I'd be saying this is a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah,
but
but
the
you're-
way they did it, unfortunately, was more... It was showing off a little too much. I think people were just really dumb in the 70s and 80s if they couldn't see that.
Well,
They
that's
were still
the
trying to push
point.
They were still trying to push the buck. They didn't know what they were doing. Like, everything was still coming out of the black and white era. Like, they were still testing the boundaries. And I feel like this movie, for its time, is pretty good.
They were
you're
testing
thinking
that boundaries
about
of
a different
color
time's
way back in the
perspective,
30s.
Actually,
But she's-
even mentioning Sonic, that's 20 years past
Right.
what this movie was trying to do. So
But you have to
there's
give
a
credit to the
huge
time
gap
era.
in time and a generation.
Right.
So
All right.
And
They couldn't
time
be as
differences
honest as they
too.
wanted to or go as far with it as they could because they barely got this movie in the theater at the time that they did anyway.
Yeah.
With
I
all
True.
they
Thank God
had
they
in
did,
it.
because now look at we have a whole show we're talking about it, analyzing it, and we're not the first one. So
Right.
True.
more power to them. So
Yeah, so... Yeah, I'm willing to
You're
give some
totally
credit to
right. They should really have gone with it. I agree with you 100%. But it comes down to censorship. They pushed
True.
the limit so fucking far
True.
with that movie
For
at
that
the
era.
time.
And yeah,
Yeah.
here's the
That
thing:
they
if
couldn't
this
do
one
any
never got
further
any
with it.
and got any flack for that, why did movies like Silent Night, Deadly Night get banned from theaters after a week of showing?
Because people
Don't forget for
will only take
politics.
so much. They'll only tolerate so much during their
Remember,
at the
once
time.
politics
that
get
it's-
involved, then it goes straight to the shitter.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so what would you guys score atmosphere for this particular movie?
I'm gonna give it a 10. It's fucking crazy. I think it's unique.
All right, so
I
we
can't
got
think
10.
of one movie that's anything like it. You know?
All right, what about you, Puganator?
And
I'd say 10.
10. PhoenixFire?
10, I think you said.
You said 10?
Yes, he did.
All right, yes. All right, so you said 10. Got it. Sorry, it's cutting out in and out there. What about you, Ingot?
Hello, Ingot. All you
9.
9?
Yeah.
I gotta give it an 8. But here's the thing. You changed my original score. I was gonna give this thing a freaking 4.
Thank you. I love you
Nice.
too.
So be damn grateful I'm being nice
I
right now and
am.
giving it a freaking 8.
Thank you for arguing with me, Mr. Retro. I love you.
All right, so here we go.
I'm so impressed that you guys all addressed yourselves by your computer names.
I
almost
know.
keep slipping up and call you guys all by your, my God.
They already. Hey, trust me, they already know our names, so don't worry about it. I've already blurred it out several times on this show, so.
I think I'm trying to be careful, but it's really hard because also you guys were making fun a few minutes ago about the family chat. This is almost a family chat, so it's hard not to just be totally
true.
revealing family secrets. P.S. Message me for family secrets.
No, the same. We're just like Rocky Horror anyway. They're a dysfunctional family. We're a dysfunctional family.
Yeah.
So that's how we'll say it. We got the wacky sister, the wacky mother, the wacky brother, and the crazy uncle.
Wait, who am I?
You can decide who you want to be.
Oh, okay.
Like
I'll have to
Rocky
think
Horror.
about it.
Like Rocky Horror, we're not going to label people. We're just going to let people pick who they want to be.
Oh,
Okay, I'm
nice.
I'm the wacky
Dang.
cousin.
Beautifully
All right.
put.
Here we go. For PhoenixFire, your original score was 45. Your score now is 49.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, your score went up. All right, so BilliePetal,
Yes.
your original score was 50. Your score now is 49. It's not the flawless picture you said it was.
That's right. Okay.
49ers for the win.
Yours
Ingot.
was 48. Puganator. No, Puganator's was 48.
Oh.
She matched her score.
Oh, okay.
Ingot, yours was 40. Now it is 42.
Oh, so it
Ooh,
went
2
up a little
points.
bit.
Wow.
For me, my score remained the same. 40 to 40. And honestly, I'm not surprised because I do love this movie. It's just you would not catch me watching this every year. Maybe.
And not without coercion. You're not just gonna do it on your own. You have to be bullied into it.
For me, honestly, if I were to, I would say I would watch this every Halloween, along with, of course, the Thriller music video and any horror movie that's coming out at the time. And if I'm gonna go a little bit, maybe the Amityville horror series or whatever.
It's
Or what is it?
it's not for everyone. It's you
True.
have to look at it.
This is one of the
Yeah.
This is one of those movies you really got to make sure that if you're gonna watch it, make sure your kids aren't in the room. Because good lord.
They made sure Nathaniel was, or not Nathaniel, oh my
Right.
God, that Nathander was in bed last night. You guys share a birthday, and I frequently either call my son Nathaniel or Morgan on accident. So
That's like my grandma literally calling me Paul instead of Nathaniel.
hey, that makes sense. You were just like Paul.
Yep.
True.
True.
Alright, so with that movie out of the way,
Legend!
we are gonna finally do Legend. Now, okay, this is where I'm actually going to be. Alright, now like I said, I was pretty critical on this one, but now that I'm thinking about it, I might be a little bit more with this film because this film did a lot of things that were so damn generic, which is
Wow.
sad, to say the least.
Wow.
I'm not entirely
I
saying
wished we hadn't seen the beginning of the director's cut. That's for sure.
Because it clouded.
honestly,
Yeah, it
actually, I
clouded
would have liked to see that version and the other
Wait,
one so I can
what
compare.
do you mean? You watched a director's cut? What movie did you see?
No, we watched Legend, but the first 20
So
minutes.
we started on the director's cut because I got the Blu-ray.
We were having trouble.
Oh my God! Okay, right here, I'm really afraid of what soundtrack you heard with this movie because there's a
Right.
huge difference.
So
There's a shit version. Did you hear the movie that had Tangerine Dream playing music?
that's the theatrical cut, and yes, that's the one that we watched.
Okay, thank God, because the other version
I was
is
gonna
shit.
say,
Actually,
wait,
it's total shit.
Are you
Yeah.
going to insult the
Tangerine-
soundtrack?
Yeah,
Sorry.
we didn't
Okay.
like the director's cut at all.
That's a huge thing. Even just starting out the review on the whole movie, the
Right.
music makes this whole movie. So
So it's actually there, for the people that don't know, there are two versions of the film. There's the director's cut, which has a completely different classical score and several extra scenes. And then the theatrical cut, that got scored by Tangerine Dream.
That was
Which
great.
is a lot more, is shortened, it's more to the point. and it's actually pretty iconic. It's a cult classic, just like Rocky Horror. There is a huge following, if you don't know.
True. This is also a movie that really defined Tim Curry's career as a villain in the film industry.
Oh yeah.
Because, good lord, there's only a few people I know that can play a villain so well. Vincent Price is definitely one of them,
Right.
and the other one being Tim Curry.
Yes.
Iconic.
Yeah. But yeah, for what it's worth, though, this is actually one of those movies I might be a little bit more critical. Only because that, compared to other movies that try to follow that genre, it doesn't necessarily do the job that well.
Well,
Some areas, it does incredibly well. Others, not as much.
You didn't watch the making of, like, with Puganator and I, and Ridley Scott, he's always Ripley in my head, Ridley Scott straight up said that he wanted to put more rock and roll and more action into the film, and had he been brave enough to ask for $5 million more for the budget, he could have really
Was
expanded.
that all?
I know. He also said that
I'm
there
kind of
was-
grateful he didn't, because good lord, would that mess up the movie.
Well, no, because
No.
there was
It
an
would have been
accident.
worse for me.
There was an accident on the set. They built
Oh.
that entire. Remember, I sent you the picture of that humongous practical.
We'll
horror
actually,
set?
actually, let's talk about that during the review. That way we
Okay.
can, PhoenixFire, what would you rate this one?
I've never seen Legend. I don't know anything about it, so I really can't say anything about this one. This
All right.
discussion this time.
All right, so if you want to ask
I just don't listen to
questions,
this.
about the movie, let us know. All right,
course.
so Ingot, what would you rate this from a score of 1 to 50?
I'm gonna start with a 50 just because I grew up as a little girl loving this movie because it's like everything you want in a fantasy. Like you've got the ultimate darkness bad guy, and then you have the beautiful heroine and the very sexy. Oh my god, this is when I fell in love with Tom Cruise. I was like 5 years old. When I
That's
decided
what
I wanted
everyone's
to
been
watch
saying. All the women I've talked to about this movie.
Beautiful thighs.
Yeah, okay, but
Jesus
at the
Christ.
same
I'm gonna
time,
rate it a
okay,
45
that being
myself.
said,
45?
This is the only movie that I like Tom Cruise in. Like that, everything else, like I think it's his teeth. Like his teeth
I
weren't
didn't
straight
like
yet.
Tom
I like the
Cruise's-
crooked teeth. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
he's distracting.
He had an innocence.
What about you?
He had an innocence, and I didn't know about Scientology, so I just I'm gonna
You're
go
right.
with 50 and we'll see where
This,
it goes.
if you had seen this film when you were younger, you're not as clouded. Now, as an adult watching him, I'm like, oh, Tom Cruise. But when I was
Well.
younger, I saw it when I was like 8 or 9.
So what would you rate this score from 1 to 50?
I'm gonna say 49. It is a 50 in my heart, but watching it again.
You're knocking
for
off
my
a
reviewing-
point for his Scientology.
Yes, I am.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm giving it a 30.
No, I'm just wow. That's
Wow,
I'm
that is.
fucking
impressed with
offensive.
Daniel.
I am giving it a solid 30. I
Wow.
don't
I'm
think this
impressed.
movie's
I
that
thought it was
good.
gonna be over for you.
Wow.
Props. No.
I'm not doing another review ever again. That's so offensive.
Oh,
You gave it a 49, you...
Uh,
Oh,
what did you-
Jesus.
and you said 45.
Yeah, she said
Puganator?
45. Jesus Christ's sake. Hell, Ingot is more 50 than you.
Well, I am giving it a 49 from a reviewing standpoint. From a crazy fanatical fan, as you have so many times told me I am. It's like
Of
a
this movie?
50
Yes.
million. It's a 50 million. So,
Jesus Christ's sake. Alright, so here we go. Let's go on with the story category. Okay.
Made it bleed.
Alright. For what it's worth,
fantasy.
it's your standard fantasy.
Right.
Which...
But it was unique at the time it was made. You have to own that. Yes, it was.
There were other fantasy films that were going around the same time that were doing the same thing as this, and unfortunately, films, around this time period were not given the full respect that movies like Lord of the Rings, Return of the King
Right,
managed to pull
now.
off now.
Yes.
And unfortunately, I think
completely
that
agree.
is one of its downsides, is that it came out at a time when fantasy films were basically either animated or were live-action performances on stage.
Right. Very true.
That's it. They were never really taken that seriously,
Or respected.
or respected in this case, yes.
I completely agree.
Nowadays, fantasy films are having so much respect nowadays,
Right,
especially
they're like
with
top ranking.
yeah, because remember, this is around the time frame that movies like Star Wars were making a huge impact, Star Trek, and a lot of sci-fi was coming out around this time. So it had a lot of competition, and a lot of it was a lot better than this.
Well,
sad
you
to
have
say.
to look at it. It's not necessarily an action film. It's more of a romance fantasy.
Of course, same with Star Wars. Star Wars is mainly a myth.
It kind of
its own
reminds me
science
of
fiction
Peter
mythology.
Pan, sort of.
Like George Lucas said, Star Wars is a space opera.
the human
Yeah, exactly, a
version
space
of
opera. Soap
Peter
opera.
Pan,
Yeah.
sort of.
Yeah.
This is your straight up grim fairy tales, princess. you
No,
know.
if it was grim fairy tales, it would have been a lot darker than it was.
But again, at the time, you can't go that far.
I don't know. It was pretty.
Take a look
It
at.
was
Hold
huge,
on,
I
hold on.
think.
Take a look at.
With the
And I can't believe I'm saying this. Black
darkness.
Cauldron. Disney got away with a lot
Yeah,
for an
but
animated film like that.
Yeah,
and
but it's a cult classic now, but it wasn't.
yeah,
hugely
it
popular.
bombed really hard
It
though,
bombed,
folks.
yeah.
It bombed in the box office.
I
It
think-
lost to the Care Bears.
Right. Ridley Scott
Yikes.
even
Ugh.
said in the.
I forgot about that movie.
That
actually,
we're not
until
going to
just
talk
now.
about Care Bears because
I
that
can't
movie
believe-
is scary
I
with
can't
the red
believe-
dragon. That's not funny.
What, Care Bears?
The red dragon thingy is not cool. That's scary.
The Care Bears movie sucks. How did Disney
terrifying.
lose to them?
Yeah.
Ridley Scott said that
Wow.
he
Care
wasn't
Bears,
as brave when he
they-
made this
they
film as he
conquer.
wanted to be or
They
should have
eat
been.
your souls.
Do you-
What?
So Ridley Scott said in interviews that this film he was not as brave and daring and adventurous with the story as he wanted to be or should have been, and that he regrets that. So-
True, but here's the thing. He also made up for it by making one of the greatest horror films of all time,
Right, but
Alien.
You need to look. I mean, I completely agree. It's one of the best movies ever made, series. But you have to look at the film from the point of view of where Ridley Scott is trying to tell you, like, look, it's not everything I wanted it to be, and I wasn't brave enough to make it that way. So you
True.
have to take that into account.
That's
The
true.
time,
But,
the era, everything.
Right.
however, at the same time, I feel like that what he would have added actually would have made the film worse.
Why?
It wouldn't have fit the fantasy genre as much as it did now. I actually give him more respect for not taking those risks because trust me, it could have been a lot worse if he put in rock, hard metal music and all these different things in here. It would have made a lot less sense.
Well, that's why I agree that it's an
So
epic film.
that's the
And
reason
it's
why I'm not
alright.
going to be completely like hardballing saying that. Seriously, Ridley Scott, you're a dumbass. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say that there are some risks you should take and some you don't, and I'm glad you didn't take those risks when you did. Well done on that one.
Okay.
So for story-wise, though, it is generic, but considering what it could have been under his direction, I'm kind of glad that it's the way it is. So I'm gonna give it maybe.
I didn't see it as being generic at all.
I didn't either.
I
thought it
never.
was-
I've watched
would've-
too many fantasy films to know otherwise.
I would have never.
Okay, well, that's where this is
expected the-
working against you because we have some years on you, and for us, this was kind of like new when it came
Yes.
out, and it had a new
Very.
spin on things, and
Yeah.
Darkness looked super cool, and then
It's
also like
terrible.
just I don't know, it had a great
was
storyline
beautifully
and all the cute little like
And her
little
going
people
over to
they
the
had, I don't
dark
know.
side.
Right.
I
Here's
thought,
the
I
thing-
thought it was a really, really
the
good
visuals
movie.
were great, and
Yeah.
I feel like this is a little different than maybe that you're used to. Holy
Yeah,
cow, Paul
yeah.
Bettany's in
All right,
this.
here's the thing, though.
Sorry.
I literally could predict every single thing that happens in this
But that,
film.
we got into this argument the other night. That is a fairy tale. That is how fairy tales go. You know what is coming.
Even in Lord of the Rings and even in the Lord of the Rings book, The Hobbit, even that one had twists and turns that made you actually believe the
I'm
villains
sorry,
were going
did
to
you
win.
seriously expect Lily to not kill the unicorn once she's gone dark? Did you really? Like, you were surprised.
Come on.
You were
No, I
shocked.
was not.
Yes, you were.
I even
Oh,
said
you big
she was
fibber.
going to turn. You guys are the ones who
No.
kept saying she was going to do it.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
Oh, you're
Yes.
crazy.
I seriously
I
saw
think
it
you got
coming.
high by extension.
I think you did too.
I'm sorry. I literally saw it
Almost the only
coming.
choice that she was given though. That's what she was like made to think she should do. Like she was brainwashed.
Right.
She didn't know what she was
under
doing.
a spell, but she prevailed. You know, that's a classic fairy tale, though. You have to look at the tropes of a classic fairy tale. This movie hits all those marks. It's not what you want it to be, you personally, but from someone in our age group, it's one of the most perfect fantasy films that's ever been made.
I only
I'm
want
sorry,
to be
I'm
Lily
gonna
with
give
her
it at least a
dress
7.
and everything.
Oh yeah, the black dress.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dark
for me-
Lily, quote unquote,
No,
as the
not
fans call
okay.
her.
Okay, fine. You like Dark Lily.
No,
I
I
loved
like-
her
I
first
like
dress while she was
Innocent Lily,
loving on the
too.
unicorns.
Okay.
Like, oh my god.
Okay, first of all,
That's
guys,
like a
I am
book.
going to straight up say it. I'm still going to give this a 7. For as much as I do like that it could have been a lot worse if he made those risks. but at the same time, it's a little too generic for me personally. I've watched films before I watched Lord of the Rings.
But I think
So,
it has
I
a
know
lot to
full
do
well.
with your age.
It is.
And the era you grew up in, though.
Because had you never seen Lord of the Rings, when you saw Legend for the first time, you would have been like, wow, that's insane. Like, Darkness is one of the most iconic characters that have ever
Here's
been
the
brought
thing,
to
though.
the
I'm
scene.
not talking about the characters.
No, but
I'm
I'm saying-
talking about the story.
No, I know,
That's
but
it.
what I'm trying to say is that your vision of this is clouded by your experience with better, bigger budgets and more extreme, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not
Like-
entirely saying... Let's just go on to characters, because at this
Oh,
rate...
honey, it's okay. I understand. Like, they're talking about a Tolkien story versus, like, whatever this guy wrote. Like, it's
Thank you.
like a Tolkien story is
Yeah,
way more involved. So
Right.
Yeah.
this is a little more generic as far as what you're trying to come across. Like, it's not unique in fantasy at this point. It's amazing for us visually. But this isn't a new story.
No,
The
Exactly.
That's
That's what-
girl and
that's
the
what I'm-
unicorn and then the dark force.
Here's
so.
the thing. That
Yeah,
is what I'm trying to say.
Right, no,
I'm not-
I see that, but I'm just saying
No,
that,
you're
like,
not, if you're literally arguing with me still.
I'm not arguing, I'm just trying to tell you, like, if you look at it from, like, medieval paintings, like, it's a classic mythology
This is
story.
normal, Odessa.
It's like a classic mythology.
They like to argue.
Okay, I
Unfortunately.
get it. I like to
When it
argue
comes
too.
to-
That's why
when
I
it comes to
inserted
that.
myself.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Is PhoenixFire okay? He's very quiet. Is he traumatized by this family? No.
I'm just listening to you guys dicker. I'm just reading my Suki Stackhouse book. You guys.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to hear more of
Yes.
your smooth vocals.
That's funny.
I'll start now. For the past couple of days, we've had no power because they're doing construction to the building.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you know what? I'm breaking out my Suki Stackhouse books. I gotta reread them again.
Oh, nice.
I'm just
Oh,
sitting
nice.
here.
Hooray! Woo!
Hello, Phoenix
All right.
Fire. How are you today?
Oh, Lord.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll say right now, funny thing is, before you guys go into your discussion,
Uh-huh.
2 years ago, I met before I broke up with my ex, it's like, he got me a couple of the hardcovers for the Suki books, and then ever since then, I was like, anytime I see a secondhand bookstore or whatever, I'm like, all right, do they got any books for Suki Stackhouse? Do they got this one? Am I missing it? And I spent nearly 3 years getting every single book for Suki in hardcover in chronological order.
Oh,
and now
wow.
I can say, safe to
Damn.
say,
Mad
I got
respect. Mad respect,
I got the
Phoenix.
complete set from book 1 to the Suki Stackhouse short stories. I got
Oh,
everything in
wow,
hardcover.
that's crazy. So
Wow,
I'm
that's
still
awesome.
missing.
That's how
I'm
much
still
I
missing
went
like
to
2
get
of
everything in
them.
hardcover.
When did we go
Pure
suddenly
dedication.
from the movie to books?
Well, you know what? To be honest,
Actually, no, that's
Charlene
actually kind
Harris's
of normal.
Series Suki Stackhouse. It's True Blood, the atrocious TV show that has been based off of her excellent books.
Really? I remember you telling me about that comic, Des, but I didn't know that was based on that. I've never watched that show. Now I won't.
I
I'll
don't
just
even
read
know. I don't even know
Snooki.
what the books are.
So it's so True
Hey,
Blood.
can
is the
we
TV
can we talk about the movie
Yeah.
first, then
Yeah,
we talk
What
about...
I'm trying to say is that the reason Phoenix Fire
Yeah.
brought it up is because it's like it's got all the classic elements
Oh,
of fairy tales.
oh,
and stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
so it's
very
like
much so, yeah.
vampires, werewolves, the whole
Yeah, with
nine
a
yards.
with a TV series though and a book
Yeah.
series, it makes sense though, because again, you're basically building the world.
Right.
In a movie, it's not
They
necessarily
took,
that
they
important.
took the TV show in
Sometimes
such a
it works.
random direction.
Yeah.
If you look at it like I try to look at the Harry Potter books and films, like
Mm-hmm.
they're buddies in the same universe, but not the same planets. So
Okay.
yeah.
True. So, in terms of story, what would you guys score it? Because right now, I've already told my score. So we'll start with Ingot. What about your score? Score of 1 to 10. Story.
For story, I guess I could go for 40 because, like, it is kind of generic.
Four-
Like,
40?
everything any girl... No, stop
on
it.
1 to
Anything
10.
any girl wants
No.
is
You said
there,
40.
but
It's supposed to be a
there's
score of
not
1 to
anything-
10.
1 to 10, not
what?
40.
It was a score of 1 to 10.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, wait, which is this again? Sorry.
It's story. A score of 1 to 10 for story.
Ooh, okay, so, like... Okay, 5, because it is kind of, like, old and redone, and, like, exactly what you expect from, like, a fantasy or something, but I still love this movie because I grew up with it. I do like some of the elements. Like, it has its little differences, but it's also kind of the same as we've heard before, so...
Exactly. So, what about you, BilliePetal?
I'm gonna give it a 10 just because when I first saw it, I felt like it was one of my books come to life.
Okay.
I feel the need to say that Ridley Scott's the original script. There was a sex scene with Dark Lily and Darkness that I would love to see someday. You know.
Oh my god!
So there was
wait,
a whole
what did you read?
world
Wait,
that
hold
that
on.
got
Is
cut
there
out.
a book or something?
So the original screenplay was massive compared to what they actually put into the film, which makes me
I
very
had no
sad.
idea.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised because there are some directors that unfortunately have gotten the big, basically the stick up the ass of the staff sometimes.
Yeah.
Like take a look at
studio.
actually take a look at Cool World, for example, Stanley Kubrick film. That one was supposed to be a rated R animated horror film. And guess what they did? They wrote completely different script, and he was forced to work with that.
Right, and it's like
Basically he tossed the original story out and just made it their own. Even Kim Basinger of all people was trying to change it.
Right.
My score will be 5 too, but that's because as a whole, I didn't actually start. My biggest draw to that movie was Darkness.
Yeah.
It wasn't the entire, all the little stuff in between, between the princess and Tom Cruise. I don't know, it just...
Like I said, the reason why is that it could have been a lot worse if he actually did go with some of his ideas, because I did do some research on some of his ideas on what he was going to make the movie. I actually thought it would have been worse. That's the reason why I gave him a 7 instead of a 5, because it could have been a lot worse.
I didn't really like Tom Cruise's part in it.
Okay, so if Jack was played by some other guy that you didn't recognize,
maybe fine.
It could have worked.
They made it seem too...
it's a little goofy. The acting is a little goofy.
That's
but
part
we're
of
talking
it.
about the story.
Yeah.
So ignore Tom.
All right, hold on.
But that's part of the story, though. Is
now we should go to characters. And this is actually where, again, I'm going to have mixed views on it. First of all, I love the side characters.
8.
The side characters, surprisingly, are very good.
Gump is my
The
favorite
villain
character.
is amazing,
Yes.
in my personal opinion. But two people that bring it down are the main characters themselves. They are a complete waste of freaking time.
I like the girl. I just
No,
don't...
I do not like her. I do not like Tom Cruise. I don't like the fairy. They could just get thrown out of this movie and they'd be fine.
Oh
Yeah,
my
but
god.
then you didn't have a story.
I
You
can't
need
talk to
Billie.
you ever again.
The fairy...
I'd be fine with that because I don't like those three.
Okay, fine. Uma is shady. I'll give you that.
Uma's-
they could have
Uma's
just
a
been
bitch.
Hello,
fairy,
everyone.
for
It's
sure.
Una.
Okay, I was trying to be nice.
I don't
didn't
care.
want to say the bitch word for her. I was trying to just
She's
be
not
like,
a bitch.
Uma's
She's a fairy.
shady.
She's there.
I wish they
they're
had made her-
wild. You know,
I wish they had
they're
made
not
her more like
humans.
Tinkerbell, though.
Yeah, but then she would be just like Tinkerbell.
No,
No,
she'd
but
be more
whimsical.
lovable.
Whimsical.
No, here's the thing.
Tinkerbell is lovable.
No, hold
You don't
on.
want Uma.
She
No.
is like Tinkerbell, but worse.
No, Una is a
No,
wild,
no.
Tinkerbell's barely tolerable
Like,
with me.
untamable spirit.
Tinkerbell
is what a
is
fairy
lovable
is
and loyal to Peter Pan. Uma is all for herself, and she's horny for whoever she wants. And when she doesn't get her way,
Yeah,
she's
but
upset
that's
and she like
if you
turns
look at
against you. So.
classical. If you look
So
at
she just wants to
classical
play
fairy tale
games.
tropes, though. If you look at classical fairy tale tropes, though, fairies are wild. They're sometimes spiteful. They can be the horror villain
Imps.
in
Imps.
stories.
Yeah, actually,
Okay,
no.
so
Hold on.
Uma is perfect.
Here's a good
Uma is
example.
perfect, not Tinkerbell.
Hold on. Here's the thing, though. She actually makes a good point. I actually had a fairy in my D&D story where she was actually the one manipulating everybody.
Right. So you have to. Una is a completely unique character in this film. Like. You don't know where the hell her loyalty lies. You don't know what
Yeah,
she's gonna do.
that is true. But at the
I
same
think
time,
she's interesting.
But like
Here's the
Jack,
thing, though.
when he betrays her
First-
because he's in love with Lily, that's when she like betrays him.
yeah, here's the
Right.
thing, though.
For a second, though,
yeah, for
she
me,
still frees
I
them.
actually think that the concept of her is good. It's how she's portrayed that sucks.
Well, she's just a spiteful, willful,
If they could have gotten
free
any other,
spirit.
hold on, they could have gotten any other actress to play the role, and it would be much better than what she did.
I love Una. I think she is like untamed.
All right, here's the thing.
Yeah,
And then,
I
Yeah.
I feel like I don't even know who the actress is. She's an unknown, I think. Uma is probably the only credit she has to her name, unless I'm wrong. But she did a
Probably.
great job.
Maybe.
Like she's memorable. Like
She is.
30 years
Yeah.
later, Nathaniel, I still remember Una.
Right.
I'm 37.
My favorite character
just don't
still
like-
is the princess, and I love the couple, or the woman in the little house.
Nell.
And I loved Darkness.
yeah, like I said,
He
though.
does amazing in that.
Yeah, here's the
I
thing.
love Honeythorn Gum. Honeythorn Gum.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
love
Alright,
this.
here's the thing,
Yeah,
though.
he's cute too.
I'm fine with the side characters. Side characters are very good. The villain, is possibly the best villain you'll ever see in
right.
film.
Great.
Yes.
But
He's
God bless it.
seductive and-
There's a dynamic between the hero and the villain that must happen, and if the main characters are going to absolutely suck, then why's the point of ever rooting for them? Hell, I was rooting for Darkness most of the time.
I agree with you in that their acting is subpar, but that was some of the first film I believe that was Mia's very first film.
Yes.
She was 15 years old when she did that.
And that was new to Tom, too. He wasn't...
And I
Who
feel
was
like...
15?
And especially in theater.
And I feel like
I know,
Tom
who was
Cruise,
15?
Mia Farrow. So Lily,
When she did...
15
Really?
years old.
That's Mia Farrow?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
my
didn't realize
God.
she was that young.
Yeah,
I
me
thought she
neither.
did other
Yeah, I'm
stuff.
surprised you guys
I thought-
didn't know that.
Are you sure
I
you're not
didn't.
thinking of a different movie?
You have to admit, like,
No.
when... like
It
if
was-
you look
it
at
was
the
her.
first Harry Potter film, those kids... Their acting's a little over the top, a little goofy.
And then eventually...
But here's the thing, though.
Eventually
However,
better.
here's the thing. They're kids. You expect them to
She's
act that way.
15.
15's a kid, too.
That's-
She does not act like one.
Okay, well...
No, I had
agree
no
that
idea.
the-
Like, I honestly thought she was of age. I didn't realize. I thought she was maybe above 18, but I
No.
didn't realize she was that
She
young.
was 15. So I agree that the acting is a little goofy. I agree that Tom Cruise being Tom fucking Cruise is super
Yeah, well, if
distracting.
you're 15 years old and you're Mia Farrow and you're meeting that Tom Cruise with his perfect teeth, with his perfect crooked
Yeah,
teeth,
you're
you're
gonna
like,
be goofy. The acting is a little over the top, a little goofy. But that's... You have to admit, though, that in fairy tales, the element of being over the top is also
That
a
is the
trope.
norm.
That is a trope.
Here's the thing, though. If it was
The acting
a
is
trope,
subpar, though, I agree.
unfortunately, yeah, that's the problem.
I
And
agree
not
with
to
you
mention,
completely. I'm just-
yes, I know that this for those two, it was their first time ever in film. I get that, but at the same time, there
is
are other
distracting.
actors that have done it for the first time, and they absolutely
Right,
kill
you're right.
it.
They're better.
So
Some
they
people
have
just
no
have
excuse.
the right charisma.
Their acting is subpar. I agree.
Yeah, their charisma is absolute shit.
So I'm gonna give character
yeah,
a
but you
9.
can't
That's the
control
only
who gets
non-10.
chosen in Hollywood to progress based on their looks.
True,
So some
but-
people get in
of
on their
course.
actions and their acting
I'll say
ability. But
7.
some people get the wrong producers and they get in on their looks
Yeah.
and their favors
Actually-
behind. We can even see what's going
Hold
on
on,
in media.
hold on.
People are getting in,
Okay,
I'll be quiet.
no, just give me a second so I can explain. Let's take a look at Star Wars. They had so many great actors, but here's the thing: the writers are the ones that sucked. All of them have had amazing roles.
Right.
Hayden Christensen as Anakin, honestly, for what he had to deal with in that movie, for how he had to act and everything, when he was threatening, he made you fear him.
Right,
You saw the Dark Lord of the
Right.
Sith. When it comes to Samuel L. Jackson, he does a serious role like that, but you don't see him in that. It just
Right.
feels off.
Right.
The only one who ever felt like he was actually the character he was Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ewan McGregor. He was the only one who could ever play
Obi-Wan.
yeah,
Wait, wasn't
Obi-Wan.
Sir
in
Alec Guinness the first
Sir Alec
Obi-Wan?
Guinness, thank
He
you.
was good too.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you could see that it really does depend on the writers just as much as
Right.
the actors. But if the actors can't portray the roles, because the writing they have is not bad.
Right.
It's actually decent writing. It's the actors who unfortunately made
Trying
it
to
worse for me.
gradually clean this
They
off,
did.
so.
And you know what? They actually, because we started with the director's cut, unfortunately. We watched
But
like
maybe
15,
milk, and
20
if you want to get a
minutes.
hamburger, I wouldn't mind making fluffy joes. Sorry, guys. Okay. Hold on. Let me.
Now
mute
you're making
this.
me hungry right now.
Damn you, Ingot.
But
No, but remember, there was a whole lot more dialogue in the director's cut that was totally unnecessary.
Yeah.
It was really
True.
ridiculous. Like, I was
But there were
totally
some scenes that were
blown away
needed.
by how... That's true. With Darkness, I'm talking strictly about with
Oh,
Lily and Jack.
yeah.
Their
Yeah.
dialogue is much better cut down where it is in the
Definitely.
theatrical.
definitely. That's the reason why I'm gonna give it a lower
And
score
I agree.
in this
That's
case.
why I said 9 instead of 10. But like, Retroactive over here was totally blown away by Darkness in the director's cut, and I agree with you. Like, his extended opening scene
Yes.
should
Yeah.
have been left in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because here's the
really
thing.
sets the tone.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
basically it's like this. I'm actually gonna turn my chair for a second. Basically, he's like this the entire time. You do not see his face.
All you see is
You're
his hand, his arm.
Exactly, his hand, his arm, his claws,
Right.
and you only see
And
that.
you hear his voice.
And hear his voice.
Sultry,
That
smooth,
is what you
seductive
should
voice.
do with a villain when you start a film.
Right.
If they would have put that in, it would have made him more threatening and more ominous.
Right.
You would not know what this guy's capable of. You won't even know what he looks like. So basically, you're left in complete mystery. And when they do finally reveal him clawing his way through out of that whatever that was,
Mirror.
and pulling himself out, you feel the terror.
Right.
Because I think if I would have watched the director's cut first and then compared it to the original, I actually would have said they should have kept that scene in.
So what Ridley Scott said was that they completely revamped the film in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. They re-edited the whole damn thing. They redid the whole score because when he presented the first version, the director's cut, it didn't go over well with audiences. It was a little too long and people were high and laughing, right? And so he cut a whole bunch of stuff out, and he said he made mistakes when he did that. That he should have stuck to his vision. And I think losing that part with darkness really
a lot
was
of
a mistake.
A lot of it's extra dialogue completely stupid.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to the intro
some
scene,
stuff that were definitely needed.
yeah, the intro scene, in my personal opinion, was the one thing they should have kept.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, good lord,
That
that
raised
made
points.
Darkness
Yeah.
sound like a freaking badass villain.
It did, and it
Yeah.
sets the tone more seriously.
Where in the
than the more,
original,
like, fluffy romantic
I
start
agree.
with Lily and Jack.
and not only that, it also, when you see him in the beginning, it's almost like, why reveal the villain so soon?
Right, he totally played that card and blew it.
Yeah, that was on the team's fault,
theatrical.
not on him.
Well,
He made a good choice by keeping. Actually, that's actually kind of the reason why that a lot of people didn't necessarily like the Sauron being revealed in the Lord of the Rings movies.
Right.
Because when you saw him originally in the first movie, everyone was like, okay, so why is he here? He's always been ominous in all the other stuff, so
Right.
why all of a sudden you decide to reveal him now?
Right, don't play the card too soon.
Exactly. There's a difference between leaving a villain completely ambiguous. That way, when it builds up to the final villain, it makes sense. Like, actually, take a look at Legend of Zelda. Throughout the entire game, you are hearing mentions of Ganon. You never see his face. You never see what he looks like. But you feel the terror and the evil that comes from him just from how he's described.
Right.
And when you finally
Well,
face
never
him,
see
he's
Ganondorf,
horrifying.
Like his human form, and you never see the beast form until it's like the end, and you're like, oh,
Exactly.
shit.
Right.
If they did something like that,
Yeah,
That
he
would be
said
fine.
He made mistakes, and
Yeah.
I think he was absolutely right.
yeah. All right. So we already got BilliePetal's score. What about yours,
7.
Puganator? Sorry. So you got a 7. All right. What about you, Ingot?
Okay, really sorry. What category are we in? I zoned out
Characters.
for so long.
We're in characters.
Characters for Legend?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. For the characters, I'll give them a 10. They had nothing to do with the story. Like, they all were solid for their characters. I love Honeythorn Gump. Like, the
Oh yeah, Gump is
He's
like
my
my
favorite,
favorite
like-
character.
And,
He's
all,
so
and
intense.
almost all of the dwarves
Is that
or
that
like
little guy,
people
little
that would be
boy,
awesome.
the
pointy
Even the one
ears?
they meet down in like in the dungeon after they get like this set down there, and there's that one that's
Yeah,
just
their
in there,
brother,
and, like,
right? They're like brother of their tribe.
Everything is
Oh, yeah.
good. Like, I feel like the dwarves, the characters of those guys help them through their journey the whole way of the movie, so I
Right.
love that. Like, the characters for me are a 10.
Yeah,
Hit my toe.
the dwarfs were pretty cute.
Yeah.
They were awesome.
All right.
It
For
has
me-
a very Willow vibe about
Yeah.
it, doesn't it?
For me, I'm
But before Willow.
all right. I'm actually gonna give it a 6, only because. Hold on.
Wow.
There's a reason why. Most of the score deduction is not for the other characters.
It's for the main characters.
The main
That
characters-
You despise with all of your soul. Yes.
Yeah, the main characters and the fairy.
Oh,
Those
wow.
3 can just get tossed out of this film. Everyone else, I am perfectly fine with. They are good.
Okay.
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 So yeah, I'm sorry,
Well, I
guys.
respect your opinion, even
I
though it's
don't,
wrong.
but that's fine.
Yeah, like you giving it a freaking 10.
I said 9.
Her.
I warned you at the beginning of this that this is one of my favorite childhood movies, and
That's
I
right.
was biased, and I would give everything a full score. So this
Oh
is
yeah,
on
and
you
what
for
about the score
remembering.
with 5 for story?
That's true.
Hey, I was trying to be real with you. Do you want me to retract that and put it as a 10? I was
No.
trying to be real. God damn it.
No.
Do I gotta get with the water gun to spray you damn cats for arguing and bickering?
I know, right?
Play nice now.
Okay.
Hey,
so let's
here's the
do
thing. This is
Fire.
our family. When it comes down to it, we are very good at debating about film.
We're all very
I will.
passionate.
Very passionate about
I
film,
will-
video games, all
I will
that.
argue you to the death, and I will win, young Nathaniel.
Bring it on.
Okay, very
All right.
good.
We're all
You know
like
what?
Gump.
Screw
We're all
water
very
gun.
intense.
I'll just get a large bucket.
Okay. All right. Let's go on to music. And for what it's worth, I do love the soundtrack on this one.
Yes, definitely 10 for me.
Okay.
I would
well,
not
that's
say it's
huge.
the best
Like, it depends
soundtrack.
on what
No,
version
it's
you've
not the
seen,
best.
But
because
it's
there
definitely
are two
good.
different soundtracks. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take this over. There is a Tangerine Dream soundtrack, and then there's also like a different soundtrack for the movie.
Yes.
Don't listen to anything but Tangerine Dream. They're amazing, and
They
it
are.
doesn't like you don't have the same effect or like feel for the movie
Right.
if you don't listen
Okay.
to this
That
one,
completely
so.
threw me off.
All
in
right.
The director's cut. It's,
Yeah.
I was
All right,
like,
hold on.
what the fuck is happening?
All right, hold on. I'm
No,
going to say
no.
this. The director's cut music is fine.
It's classical.
No.
It's a classical score.
But-
Hold on, Ingot. Hold on.
No, I
The
will
reason
not.
why I'm saying is because it's average fantasy. I'm not
Right.
saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good.
It's
I'm just
average.
saying it's standard fare.
Right.
Okay,
It's what you
well,
expect.
That's fine, but you
Tangerine
know what? This movie
Dreams?
was already supposedly kind of average. The music is what makes it
All right.
actually above average.
Of
so.
course, but here's the thing, though.
Tangerine Dream
Even for
soundtrack.
Tangerine Dreams, I think it's fine.
Yes, only that
Fine.
one. The Goldstein shit is not good.
It's
Like,
not
screw
gold
that.
standard. It's not.
Wait.
But it's not absolute shit either.
Actually, it is pretty uniquely well known, just like the Harry Potter. Like,
Here's the thing, though.
It's
Here's the thing, though. When it comes to fantasy movies like that, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, I'll remember them as soon as I hear it. But if I listen to this music,
you've only saw the
I
movie
don't-
once, and you
Yeah,
were on your
but
phone for some of it.
even the first time I watched Harry Potter and the first time I watched Lord of the Rings, I instantly loved the music. This one didn't tag me as well.
because you weren't paying attention.
It might be because you didn't actually. Did you hear Tangerine Dream first, or was it the other?
I
version?
saw the other one first,
Unfortunately, we
then I
started
saw
with
the Tangerine Dreams.
Yeah,
I am willing to say
Okay,
it
so
is
that
better
makes
than
a
that
difference.
one.
Like, if you see it your first time, because they didn't used to release it. Like, on TV, they always did Tangerine Dream. It was never the other version.
Right.
I didn't know another version
It's
existed
definitely
until I was with you, Desiree,
I know.
at Borders, and I bought the DVD, and they came with both scores, and I was like, wait, what? There's
Yes.
a different score to this?
And then you
What?
magnificently,
And I listened
beautifully
to it, I was
burned
like,
the
This is
Tangerine
all
Dream
a hit,
soundtrack
and
for
my
me.
crazy mom wanted it, and she listens to it, but she's a freaking lunatic, so whatever.
Yeah, for what it's worth, though, I'm not entirely. It's definitely better than the original soundtrack
It is.
from the director's cut.
If you had seen this when you were little, like
Yeah, in their
Ingot
era.
and I both saw it like when we were like 8 or 9 or
Yeah.
And they
7.
never showed the alternate score. It was always Tangerine Dream.
It was only
so
Tangerine
you hear
Dream.
the other one, you're like,
We made a
"What the
huge
F is
mistake.
going on?"
We made a huge mistake, Ingot, starting with the director's cut because
Yeah.
we had an issue with the remote, so it was like we just have to play this version until we could figure out how to get the damn remote to work. And we got 15-20 minutes in, and I was like, this is fucking up my mind so hard. We have to get back to the theatrical cut because it is a superior edit. It really
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
And the soundtrack is immediately, I recognize it anytime, any place that I
It's
hear
much.
it.
It's much more
If you
pleasant.
grew up with it, Mr. Retro, it would be as known to you as Jaws or Halloween.
See, I agree.
Or
See, I
Legend-
didn't
or,
grow up with it, so I do kind of understand where he's coming from.
Right.
But
It's a cult
But it's
following
also
film.
crazy to me that you guys didn't know this movie. Like,
Right,
it's so
it blew
good.
my mind.
Like,
Here's the thing. I knew about the villain,
Right.
but that was it.
'Cause he's
I didn't
that
even know.
iconic.
I didn't even know
He's
where
that
he was
unique.
from until
Yeah.
until you mentioned the
oh
film.
man, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
So
Yeah, I'd
I
never
didn't
even-
even know that villain was that iconic. I just knew that he was from that movie, and that was one of my favorite.
oh, trust me,
movies, so I didn't-
everybody
Have you
talks
seen
about
the new-
him.
What is it? Match, that dating site. They have a version of Darkness dating the year 2020.
Yeah,
Oh,
apparently.
God.
Yeah,
Isn't it
apparently.
hilarious?
Oh, come on. They
It's
have done stuff with
Darkness.
Frollo from The Hunchback of Notre Dame Disney movie.
No, but I mean that's
Holy
how
shit.
iconic.
Yeah, seriously, take out freaking. Hold on. Take out Quasimodo, and it's like one of those, shit, what would you call those, films that deal with, different age groups? Well, basically, one of those scandal things, I don't know.
I have no idea what you're saying.
Basically, it's like a young
Say
woman
what?
having an affair with an older man.
Okay.
Like one of those films.
we don't know what
I don't know.
I-
We're not
we
into
don't- we
those.
don't know
We
that-
don't know
what
how to
that
counsel
means.
you in this.
Or maybe it's like one of those
We don't
TV series. I
understand.
don't know.
Anyway, Darkness is very iconic.
Yes.
So you recognize him as like a devil
Yeah.
in that. I remember I sent
But
you
yeah,
the
but guys, we're
trailer.
talking about music though.
Yeah, but you were talking about.
Yeah, only because you guys mentioned them.
Oh, okay, fine, whatever. The music is superior in my opinion, and it's one of the soundtracks I will know for the rest of my life. It's
All right, so
like
you're gonna give
Jaws,
it. So
and
what are you gonna give it?
I'm giving it a 10.
All right. What about you, Puganator?
A 7 because I didn't grow up on it and I thought it was okay. I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was like superior.
What about you, Ingot?
As long as we're talking about the Tangerine Dream soundtrack, it's a 10. The other one is like a 1. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, I agree.
Alright,
the
so
director's cut
10.
was way worse.
If I'm gonna say,
oh
I'm
my
gonna
God.
give it another 6. Like I said, I'm also doing more of matching
Also, this being said,
I'm matching the
PhoenixFire,
other one, the
you should
original.
really check out this movie because it's really good, and you should it's a good movie.
True.
It is.
If
Because-
it's on Netflix, if it's on Netflix, I'll gladly take a look.
No, it's not. I feel like you
That's
should
silly.
find it though, even if you have to pay $5 on Amazon. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It won't disappoint. Hopefully.
Yeah, for me,
You gotta remember one thing: Canadian Netflix is different from Netflix in the States, right? You guys got stuff we don't have, and we got stuff you guys don't have.
No, I know. That's what I was thinking more about. If I can't find something, I just buy it on Amazon Prime. So.
Yep.
And then you never know. Tubi TV might have it too, because that's a good app too.
That's true.
Wait, which one?
Tube TV.
Tubi.
Yeah. Here's the reason. My score is gonna be different because I'm taking both soundtracks into account, not just the one. So that's the reason why my score is 6, because yes, the one that we would have gotten with the director's cut is
very generic.
it's generic
It's very generic.
to a point where it's
not-
almost insulting to the film.
It's not even recognized.
Where
Yeah.
Tangerine Dreams does make a decent soundtrack. So that's the reason why I'm going to say I'm going to give it a 6 instead of just giving a flat out
So if you were
lower.
voting just for the Tangerine Dream, not taking into account the director's cut,
I would have given it an 8
classical
or a 9.
score- Okay.
But if I was
giving.
giving...
Okay.
But however, I'm taking both
I know,
into account.
I get it. I just wanted
So
to
that's
know
the
what
reason
your
why I'm giving it a
opinion
6,
No, I
because
know. I don't understand why they even had 2 versions, because Tangerine Dreams music
Trust me,
was so
the
awesome.
reason why for 2
Why
versions-
did you even have to do different music?
here's the
I
thing.
agree.
So
The original soundtrack was made by... The one that for the director's cut was made by Ridley Scott, along with his staff. They did not have the original soundtrack from Tangerine Dreams at that time.
right, it was a panic-stricken decision 2 to 3 weeks before finishing the
Oh.
film. That's
Yeah.
when he decided to revamp.
Okay, so they had to release it with Ridley Scott's shit, and then eventually they
No,
got
no.
the rights to Tangerine
No.
Dream
No,
and made a better
So
movie.
No, it was just
What
last
Ridley-
minute put
No, it
in.
was
Ridley
last
said
minute put
that-
in.
Ridley said that when he presented the final film with the original soundtrack, the classical score, to audiences, you know how they do the test audience thing?
Yeah, test audiences.
It did not go over well at all. He felt like he needed to edit the hell out of it and revamp the soundtrack. He said it needed more rock and roll, more action, and that was what his goal was with the second version, which is the theatrical version, or the American quote-unquote version that we are so familiar with. So the classical, I mean, it's generic to a degree. We didn't honestly watch the whole film to really be able to own
Judge it.
to judge it, but I feel the second soundtrack, like, he made the right choice with the soundtrack, no question whatsoever.
Yeah, no, I agree
Yeah.
totally.
So it's the
Okay, so I'm just biased. I only like Tangerine Dream. I don't care. I love your explanation, but I care not. I only love Tangerine
I
Dream.
know.
So-
Yeah, but
I
here's the
still
thing,
have
though.
the CD you burned for me illegally, and I love you. I love you mad.
I know, thank you. I love you too. No, but no, that's the thing. That's what this movie means to me, and that's
It's our
what I heard growing
childhood.
up. And as soon as I heard the second version, I was instantly offended, and I've been offended since then. So.
All right. Now we're going to go on to design, and I am going to mention this, folks. I originally thought that was actual real-life locations.
Right.
I did not think they were all sets.
Yeah, the design was a 10.
Like,
They
holy
did really
shit.
good with the design.
Wait,
Yeah.
they're
It is-
all sets. There's
All
no
of them are
real-
The
sets.
forest. Okay, I'll text you
shit.
pictures. I sent them to Mr. Retro the night that we watched the film. That forest was ginormous.
Yeah, it was
I was
huge.
like,
No,
holy
I'm
shit.
just
All
surprised that out of
fiberglass.
the whole movie there was nothing natural. That's surprising that it was all sets. So.
Right. It's all, none of it's real. Obviously
Wow.
the snow looks like craft snow, which is pretty cool because glitter everywhere. Yes.
Yeah.
That's total fantasy.
Yeah, I could easily see that.
That's awesome.
But everything
But
else,
the set,
no.
The trees, like it was like 700 feet high. Isn't that what
Oh,
it
yeah,
said?
it was amazing.
And there was actually supposed to be more action scenes filmed with Jack and Gump and that whole lot. But there was a fire, and when I say fire, I mean like part of the top of the building is fucking melted in the last picture. It was insane. It burned the entire magnificent forest to the freaking ground. And Ridley
Wow.
said that he was like, well, okay, we're just going to keep going with what we've got, because we obviously don't have the money to build a whole nother gigantic redwood forest inside this.
True.
She'll
building.
send you the information.
I will.
but
I'll send
it's
you
pretty.
the picture.
It's pretty cool.
It's,
For what is-
it's crazy.
Although
Yeah.
I'll be amazed if she does, because
Yeah,
you never
for-
know.
Ooh.
Wow, that was harsh.
For what it's worth,
Okay.
Used you.
Alright.
Me anyway. Hey, Desiree, you know it's true. God damn it.
here's a,
She's
Only
constantly
partially.
sending. She's constantly sending me crap.
Because I'm sitting on the couch next
That's
to you.
because you are with her 24/7 and she forgets about me. We're far away. We're states away.
Oh,
It
I
happens.
love you, Ingot.
All right.
I will send it to you as soon
No,
as
no.
I can.
Okay, let's get
I
off
promise.
topic.
Yeah, 'cause-
Nathaniel, rein us in. What's happening?
Alright, so basically, like I said, I love the sets in the film. I love the costume designs. All of them feel like they're actually part of the world. That's actually one of the
Right.
reasons why I actually think this film is good.
Yeah.
Because it actually does bring you in somehow
does.
with some
Yeah.
of its designs.
Darkness's whole
Yeah.
lair, his,
Yes.
his ruined castle.
Yeah.
I
Like
love
I
the
said,
glitter
though,
on everything.
like I said, though, it is insane just how much, also,
Definitely a 10.
alright, before I particularly end this whole thing and just give my score, I gotta talk about Darkness, because holy sweet Jesus, the amount of prosthetics and makeup they had to put
Yeah.
on that dude just to
Poor
make
guy.
him look the way he does.
Poor
Yeah.
Tim.
He actually he went from his original height all the way up to 13 feet tall.
Stilts.
Like, good
You
God.
don't even know that's Tim Curry unless you listen really
Yeah.
hard.
Oh, trust me, I knew it was him the
Because
moment
you
he
would not have
spoke.
known.
Right. That's seductive, sultry.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
but even
Voice.
then, with his
Ugh.
voice, it's still enhanced. They still have an enhancement to
Right.
make him sound deeper. So
Yeah.
Yeah. He,
But what
it
it's-
was-
I love his voice.
Yeah,
I
it
love
is
his.
very
I
nice.
love his dialogue. I feel was the most respected too, because
Yeah.
it's like poetry how he speaks.
Even
Yeah.
Ridley Scott said that he basically carried the film.
Yeah,
Right.
he did.
And he picked him. That was in the making of. He picked Tim Curry specifically because of his casting as Frankenfurter.
Yeah.
He said, "That man is brave. I want him in my film."
Good choice.
Yeah, right?
Good choice in the casting.
That's
Yeah.
like
So-
so insane that
Yeah,
they
so for what
connect
it's
like
worth,
that.
I think this is the only category I'm actually going to give it a full on 10.
Yeah, mine
For
a 10 too.
just how impressive it is.
10, 10, 10.
wait, what's the category again? I'm sorry.
It's design.
Design.
I love that they
Yeah.
stick with
Like
the
design of the
trope,
costumes,
glitter
the sets,
on
everything.
Keep with
Dude,
it
I'm
there.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
Ingot.
trying to get some housework done. I'm not as focused. I'm sorry.
No worries.
It's probably 10 because I'm just gonna 10 because I love this movie. Like hands down. Like I'm already prejudiced because I went into this like I want to do 50. That's my score. I love this. It's my
Yeah.
movie. I grew
Alright.
up with it. I love Tom Cruise. I fell in love with Jack as a 5-year-old girl, and
Oh, yeah.
I was sad he straightened his teeth and got into Scientology. What happened?
Right. He went to the dark
Alright,
side.
now it is time for us to talk about atmosphere. This one is, like I said, when it works, but when it doesn't, it's generic. Like, the lair for darkness, it has this sense of ominous evil that you can easily
Foreboding,
tell.
yeah.
But here's the thing, though. Where other films, I would say that's just generic fantasy shit. It's the usual stuff. But Tim Curry makes it feel like
Oh,
that
yeah,
this place
totally.
actually feels like something,
Yeah.
like a threat. Like you're
Right.
going to be
Yeah.
in trouble if you're in there.
Like we were
Like-
really in hell.
Right. Like you can tell like it's like the air is thick and maybe
Yeah.
there's some weird spicy
Exactly.
smell going
And
on.
there
and-
seem to be different levels of it too.
Yeah.
You're just
Yeah.
getting whipped on the second to third level, and you don't want to get to the fourth level because he's up there. Oh my god!
Right.
Oh
I
yeah.
think the forest has its own vibe too. It's very whimsical and
here's the thing,
floaty
though.
and dreamy.
Here's the thing,
I
though.
like the part
Whenever
with
I
the,
look at that place, even though for
unicorns.
as much as I love how they did the set design and everything, it just like I'm literally. And here's my mind. My mind is literally just shouting at me, Disney, Disney, Disney.
What do you mean?
It just looks
It's
like
not
standard
Disney.
Disney shit.
It's
I like
Honey, this
the
movie is not
No,
Disney.
more
I like
like
the
it
unicorn.
feels like Disney shit.
It's,
Nothing.
but that's the realm of fantasy. It's supposed to be like a beautiful dream. The forest is.
I
a
like the
safe-
unicorn part.
I don't know why.
unique-
My brain just did
Oh, I
not
know,
like
I
it
know
one
the
bit for some
unicorn part
reason.
is great, but
Even though
having
I
its
love
horns
everything
cut
else
off is
about it.
traumatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I love the set designs. I love all of it. Even the forest, for what it's worth, I still love it. I gave it a 10 for a reason.
Right.
But I don't know why my brain just kept shouting that this is a Disney ripoff. I don't know why it kept
No.
shouting in my head.
Bill,
It's because
Disney still
you
embodies
are
the
too
fantasy.
recent. You are too
elements.
recent, and you didn't realize that this actually came
Millennial.
before Disney got that. They didn't get this.
Yeah,
One of my first
The
Disney
1980s,
animated films
they
was
didn't go
Snow
this far.
White.
Yeah, but Snow White was a little kooky at times too.
Yeah, but at the same time, their
No,
art
I know, but
direction
it
at
was
least made
also
it look
like a
like something of a
kibosh on
threat.
the
Look at all the
cutscene,
scary
like-
trees in the freaking
Yeah, but,
scenes,
I mean-
or the transformation scene, or the
You
way
have
that
to
the
admit, like,
or the
Mr.
way that
Retro, like,
Grimhill
the
died.
forest looks like real though. It looks like it's a real practical.
I'm not
like,
entirely
you're
no.
immersed
That's
in
not
the-
what I'm saying. The design is amazing. It's one of the best I've seen in years.
But it's supposed to be like what you're missing is that it's supposed to be like a trick. Like this is the world is beautiful and you're safe and innocence is running free like in a Disney movie, and then all of a sudden
That's
darkness descends.
Yes, I know, but
It's
that's
good.
also why I love the darkness area so much.
No,
The-
but I mean, like,
his
it's-
lair, when the snow comes down, you feel this ominous foreboding
Right.
feeling that most films of that type of genre don't normally go down unless if it's trying to get you enticed into it.
Right.
This one, it only does that for as soon as the snow falls, and I'm like, okay,
It's
I
supposed to,
really
though.
get
That's
the atmosphere now.
It's supposed to though. You're supposed to feel like you're in a safe, everything's fine environment, and then the real story
Dun, dun, dun,
begins
dun.
when
Yeah,
all hell
basically,
breaks loose.
yeah, but basically,
That's
yeah,
the point.
Sounds like
Exactly.
an Never on Elm Street, doesn't it?
yeah, exactly. It's,
Right.
Because look at
Yeah.
Never on Elm Street. Nancy thought she defeated Freddy. Everything was happy dory. She's waking.
oh no, not that ending!
Oh no! And
Yes,
then
you're
you
right.
Screw that freaking ending for that movie!
Yeah,
Goodbye
no, but
to the
he's
kids
right.
in the car, and then you see the
Yeah.
convertible top roll
PhoenixFire
over, and
is
it's Freddy
totally right.
colors.
Even Wes
like,
Craven didn't want that!
No, but his point is valid.
Sounds like,
What he's
it kind
saying
of sounds
is
like that.
Yeah,
it's like a
you're
dream
right on.
state. Everything is so happy and so perfect. There's no fucking way in hell this is real. Like that's the point because it's
it's
a
real,
false
motherfucker.
sense of security, right? That's
Yeah,
what it is.
but here's the thing.
That's the way it's
Here's the
supposed
thing.
to-
Comparing that to the ending of Nightmare on Elm Street is such bullshit because look at what happened to Nancy's mom. She turns into a blow-up doll when she goes through the damn door.
All right, now you're just talking practical effects, and that is shamelessly ugly practical effects.
Thank you.
Yeah,
But
because
yeah,
she
I
looked
do
like a
see
little
where
doll,
you're
but she
getting
wasn't a
at,
little
but
doll, Daniel. That
It's
was
supposed
really
to
her
lure
mom,
you
and
in.
you need to stop this. And I'm gonna stop talking now.
It's supposed to lure you in and make you feel safe.
You could have compared it to
That's-
the ending
that's-
of
If you
Friday the
were in
13th.
like a kind of creepy
I forgot
environment
that
to
ending.
begin with, darkness wouldn't have that much of an impact. He'd
True.
still have an impact, but he wouldn't be.
But
as
here's the thing, they started out
contrasting.
with
I was gonna say,
darkness.
can we stop by
Then
the-
they went into that. If
Right.
they did
That's
the
a
other way
mistake.
around,
It was a mistake.
I think
agree.
it would have been more effective,
It
and I
would've.
personally would have been more invested.
No, I agree. I completely agree.
So,
with you.
for what it's
She's on
worth,
3 hours.
I am going to give it a 7, but like I said, that's not a bad score.
Right.
If trust me, if I was giving it like a 4 or a 3, then yeah, you have every right to argue with me. Yell at me and curse me. But no, I'm not
curse
going
you.
to ever give it that low.
Right. No, I agree with you. The editing, there are some things that definitely are lacking. They should never have played the darkness card that quickly.
Yeah.
You guys are so intense.
We are intense. We are
That-
Gump in the
God.
forest.
That's the thing about critiquing. You really put a lot of passion
I
into it,
just
especially
sit
if you
here
love this movie.
and go back and forth in awe.
So,
I'm sorry.
alright, so Puganator, what's your score and why would you give that score?
Which,
For atmosphere.
which score? Oh, I'd say 9.
Alright, so why would you give it a 9?
I don't really know.
You're overwhelmed.
I'm
very
overwhelmed.
Sorry about that.
Sorry.
I'm overwhelmed.
Alright, what about you, Billy?
I'm going to give it a 10. But I completely own and respect your opinion that they made a mistake in editing with showing darkness first
Yes,
thing.
yes.
I think it would have been much more ominous with the director's cut, the way they presented darkness in the very beginning.
Yeah, because I think Ridley Scott did learn from
Right.
that mistake. Because
Oh,
look
yeah.
at Alien.
Yeah, it's
Alien,
flawless.
you don't
That's
even
flawless.
know what the heck is going on. You
Right.
don't even know what this creature is.
Mm-hmm.
You're basically completely in the dark. And of course, when he gets hit with a face hugger and everything,
Right.
and yet
I feel like he
everything
was
seems
trying to
fine.
do an alien, but a little more muted, so not as scary.
Right,
Yeah.
he even said that. He said that he was not as brave in this film as he wanted to be or should have been.
Yeah.
I would personally love to see them remake this film, as much as I usually feel that's blasphemy to redo a classic.
Sometimes it's necessary.
I would like to see the real
It
vision
would be
that he had.
amazing, but I would be really afraid. Like, they
Me
might
too.
have the right idea
Absolutely
when they go into
terrified.
the remake, but then it gets convoluted and awful, so I don't know that I want to. I don't
Right.
know if I want this.
Sure.
Like,
But
Alright.
I would at least
Yeah.
like to read the original screenplay.
Oh,
because
yeah, that would be fun.
That was
Yeah, it's
so-
almost like,
there was so much more
Actually,
in there that...
it's almost like what PhoenixFire told us about the original screenplay for Friday the 13th.
Right. it's totally different realm. It would have been really interesting to see.
Yeah. All right, so what about you, Ingot? What would you score from a score of 1 to 10 on Atmosphere?
Ooh. On Atmosphere, I'd give it a 10.
10? All right.
Because it doesn't matter what part of the movie you're in, they do a good job on Atmosphere. Like, you feel at the beginning that she's innocent and like, oh, these fairies, blooming fairies. I don't know, like, and then she gets plopped into a world of darkness, and
It's
then
like,
she's
what the fuck?
scared. And then, like, all these, like, forest, like, snowy gumps happen. I don't know, I like the whole movie for that. Like, I feel like, and at the end, when she goes evil, and that's different, like, I don't know.
I feel like she's
like
sort
I said,
of like
like I said, I'm biased. I love this movie. I'm scoring it as high as I can.
she's like our teenage embodiment. You know what I mean? Like what she's
But
sort
I'm
of her
37.
character.
I'm not a teenager. I'm an old woman.
No, I mean like her character, like as you go along, because she's sort of like spoiled a little bit, and like she just wants to be in love and feel happy, and she wants to touch the unicorn, and you know, I feel like she's like.
And then she does it, the spoiled bitch, and ruins the whole
Right.
world, and then she has
But-
to deal with her consequences.
Right,
Yeah, I get
but
it.
she
Like,
faces it
she has
full
to
head
learn
on,
for her
you know?
mistakes. So
All right.
Yeah,
I get
she
it.
has a whole journey, even though she's kind of a subpar acting. You know,
All right.
Sorry.
Oh,
Here's,
it's to be expected around that hot of a Tom Cruise. He was so hot back then. I would be acting like not very well either. Like,
There was even
There's
there
a sign
was-
of professionalism when you go into acting. You really should know it.
that's why I'm not an acting Nathaniel, because I don't have any professionalism.
All right, so here we go with the scores. Ingot, your original score was 50. Your new score now is 45.
Wow.
Oh no!
Wow. I'm disappointed in you,
So
Ingot.
sorry,
I don't know.
folks.
BilliePetal, you matched your score at 49.
Yes, that was an absolute plan. I took 1 point off for Tom
How
Cruise
dare
being distracting.
you critique and plan that way, you bastard!
I'm
Thank
sorry.
All right, for Puganator, her original score was 45. Your new score is 38.
Wow.
I don't know how that happened.
Wow.
Your score dropped by a surprising 7 points.
You disappoint my soul.
I'm so
My
sorry.
score was originally 30. My new score, 36.
That's
It could have been better, but okay, I'm glad it went up.
Only went up by a small margin, but I have to admit, the deviation between me and her was a bit of a shock.
Mm-hmm.
Because, surprisingly, she dropped more points than I gave
Yeah, that's
for
weird.
this one.
That
So,
was weird.
I think in this case, the one thing that saved my score from, being around the same or lower is the design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As well as, of course, the atmosphere. Other than that, though, the rest of it was not
But
necessarily
I definitely think it has a lot to do with
Tim
the
Curry's
era-
performance.
No, as far as mine going down,
Oh.
it's. I think it's you guys were in the
We grew
area.
up with
You
it.
grew up with
Yeah.
it.
When we
I
were
did
very
not,
little, very little.
and I'm also much older. So it just. It's
You're not that much older.
there are other
Not to
films
mention-
that definitely peak a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
better than this one.
True.
So, but at the time when you're a child, when you're like
Yeah.
7
I
years
still
old,
enjoyed
was-
it though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same
It was
here.
a good movie. My favorite
That's why it's a
character was
cult classic,
Darkness.
because of people
for
like
sure.
Ingot and I being so obsessed and loyal to this
Yeah,
film.
yeah.
You know, and it's sort of
Yeah.
shaping our adolescence and what we look for.
Well, it's like Rocky Horror Picture
Relationships
Show.
and
That
such.
was my era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
me,
and I absolutely love that movie.
Yeah, for me, and this is like one of those films, like an average score for me, and this is going by my scoring system. If you have a score of 50, then you're basically perfection in my eyes.
Right.
Which very rarely do I ever give that in, and I've only had a few movies and games where
Yeah.
I've given it a solid 50, and sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes I give a 50 and it's right on the mark, like with American Tail.
Right.
That one I've done with, if you guys know, with
Oh, that's a
Puganator.
solid 50.
And that one has been my 50-50 since I was a kid, and that will never change, no matter how many years pass.
Hey, yo, Philly.
When it comes down to games like Chrono Trigger, that's another one I'm going to give a 50, and I know
Right.
it's going to be a 50. But then there are, of course, but yeah, if you go from 49 to 40, you're basically at an elite level. You are at the top of the class. You
Right.
really have earned those points well. You deserve to be recognized among the public.
Right.
Then you go on to 39 to 30. This is around the movies where I'm saying, okay, you deserve some recognition. Maybe.
Wait, what score are you basing this on? Like,
This
how
is my
are
s-
you judging all of us?
This is
God
my
damn
this
it.
is no, this is my scoring system I'm talking about.
Oh, your scoring system. That's fine. Like, what?
The scoring system
Bibliography Bible are you looking at to score all us mofos on Earth?
Okay,
What are
first of
you
all,
doing?
no. I'm mainly talking about the scoring system for what I do on the show as a whole.
Yeah.
And how
Okay.
everyone normally goes through it.
I'll be
So-
right back, guys.
Okay, so
Oh, yeah, of
why
course.
am I not higher up on your list? What is going on?
Like right now, your original score, if I go back to
Did he just leave?
he's leaving because he has to go
he
gut
did,
something.
but he's coming back. He said he's coming back.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
Listen,
if we
you
take a
gotta
look
listen.
at here, if we go all the way back here to like the Tremors movies, for example. The Tremors movies were different in most ways than you could imagine.
Right.
Each and
I
every one of
love
them.
the first Tremors, and I
Exactly,
refuse to watch
like-
the others.
Like for right now, we did that one. We gave it pretty much a score what we expected to be.
Right.
And then if we go all the way back to the movies we have done at this point, like like with the Prince of Egypt and the Ten Commandments, with those ones, you could tell just like for Ten Commandments, I put it at a 39, which means it's a decent movie. You definitely should check it out.
Right. Oh yeah.
Where a 40 would have,
That what super old school Chicken Commandments looked like back in the day?
yeah. Basically,
Okay,
we were
I'll do
doing
it.
and then of course we did Prince of
I
Egypt.
feel like I watched it as a kid. My mom's gonna make me rewatch it.
Oh my
I'll
god,
do
we
it.
still have to watch it like
I
every
hate her, but I'll
freaking
rewatch
Easter.
it.
I always watch Prince of Egypt. I never watched Ten Commandments.
My grandma
Prince of
Can't
Egypt
believe
is
how many
much better.
times you've referenced Prince of Egypt this podcast. Like, I don't know, like, what is your
87
obsession
times?
with this movie? Like,
That
I think
movie,
it
my
has
personal.
It has a good song, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, woo! But
Here's
like,
the thing.
what is
I
your
know, like the soundtrack with
The soundtrack
Afra
is
Hazard
perfection.
is
One of the
really-
best you'll ever hear
it
in
is really
animation
good.
history.
That is.
The acting is some of the best you'll ever see in animated film history. Take a look at some of the animation they were able to do with Ramesses. Like,
Right.
remember the scene when when Moses finally says, "I cannot stand by and watch my people suffer at your hands,"
Right.
and you see all the emotions he's going
no,
through.
the animation is incredible.
From-
the whole film was
from-
amazing.
From sadness to regret to contemplation to
Okay, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have made fun. I actually haven't seen the film. I'm just super
Oh,
amused
wow.
I'm super amused that you are so
He does
into
love
it.
it.
So.
It's one of
This
his
is-
top.
This is one of my
5.
favorite non-Disney animated films ever made, and I will fight
Okay.
anyone who says that it's not perfection.
No, I will make it a personal goal to watch it now, just
There you go.
because it's
Oh,
your
yeah.
favorite, because you're one of my favorite people,
Mhm.
and I will watch it,
Oh.
and I will make my son watch it. And he
Oh,
will
yeah,
love
he'll
Yeah,
love
yeah,
it.
It's cool.
Another movie I recommend, of course, like I said, I did this with Puganator, American Tail.
Yeah.
That's another great
Oh, yeah.
one. A Don Bluth
Yeah,
film.
That one's timeless, though.
Actually-
and also Five Goes West. There's a second one.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
not just
I
that
prefer
one.
the first one over the second one, but here's the thing,
I
though.
know. I was exposed to Five
Especially
for the
since Don
second
Bluth
one,
didn't
so.
even direct that one. Here's another thing. Don Bluth actually directed the Robin Hood movie.
Oh, the cartoon?
Yeah, he animated that.
OMG.
The
He was
Disney
with
one?
he was with Disney
Hell
for
yeah.
several years.
Oh
That's
man,
awesome.
oh
And-
that's amazing because I love that movie
Oh,
and
yeah,
I
right?
can't get Xander to watch it, but I love the music.
What?
Oh, yes.
It's alright, we'll work on it. We'll get
Yeah.
him to watch
All right,
it.
so now we're gonna get on to
Our final
Retro
question.
Evolution, which we talk about if you were given control of this movie, and what would you change about it and why. The only exception is that if you gave it a 50 and it actually became a 50, or basically if the score is a 50, you're not allowed to even talk about it because in your eyes it's perfection. But
No, wait,
in
hold
this
on.
case-
I wanted to say, I think I should be Lily and not Mia Farrow. That's what I think should happen. So that's my
Jesus
change,
Christ.
and I stick with it.
Oh,
all right,
I
so
second that.
all right, so we already know
Thanks,
theirs.
Totally.
I would have totally picked a different character to play Jack.
Yeah.
No,
I would have gotten rid of the
Yes.
two main characters and switched them out with
No.
different actors.
Okay,
no.
Yes.
I hate you all. Goodbye. I'm muting myself.
I can understand why you guys find Tom Cruise so distracting because he's Tom fucking Cruise.
Okay, no, I find him distracting because he's that annoying.
Actually
Yeah.
natural and have amazing, beautiful crookedness that can't be replicated, and I love it. And I just
Here's the thing. I
He's a terrible
think Tom
actor
Cruise
back
is.
then.
Here's the thing. Tom Cruise is annoying and he's a horrible actor.
Okay.
I don't think
Yeah,
he's a
but you have
horrible
to
actor as a
test that.
whole.
This is
No,
1984.
as a whole,
It's
he's
not-
bad.
What year were you born? What year were you born, Mr. RetroActive?
I don't.
93. That was around the time of Mission Impossible.
1984 Tom Cruise is like hot.
I
He's
don't
hot in
care.
Scientology.
I don't
He's
care.
crazy.
He's a piss poor actor.
You have to look at it from our point of view. It's like it was like a fantasy, like your adolescence
My
coming into your
5-year-old
age.
boy
Leaf
wrote
Garrett.
Tom Cruise.
Right. Yes. Like it's like he was a sexual icon. I'm
He
gonna
was
say
like a
that,
Leaf
okay?
Garrett to somebody my age.
And I'm sorry
Leif
to use
Garrett
the past
is
tense.
dead.
Oh, he's not, is he? That's so
I think he is,
Wait,
yeah.
no, I thought he was. Yeah, no, he
My point is, he's like a John Travolta
right.
back in my day.
Yes.
Because I was.
What was
in
that
love
kid
with
from
John
Home
Travolta.
Improvement? I forgot what his name is. He played.
No, that's Jonathan Taylor
Oh.
Thomas. That's a
Yeah,
different guy.
he played
Jonathan
Simba
Taylor-
in the
Jonathan
Lion
Taylor
King.
Okay,
Thomas.
John-
He too
John
was
Travolta.
an icon.
I know a
Yeah,
lot of
he's
girls
great.
in my age were going gaga over him.
Yeah, girls my age were gaga over him too. He's hot. Anyway,
And not to mention, he did a really good young Simba in the Lion
yes, he
King.
did.
Well done.
Also a soundtrack I
That
still
was
have.
his last
Yes.
role. He's done. He's all done.
No, he's in an episode of that atrocious show with Tim Allen, whom I despise now. What is that
Why?
called? Because he's an asshole. I'm not going to get into it. It's all... Anyway,
Oh, the
Oh,
one I
you
always
better
watch.
text me,
Yes.
UB.
I will. It's the, Jonathan Taylor Thomas shows up in an episode of, what is that show called?
The one I always watch.
It's the newest one.
Right. I can't remember.
Fucking,
The
what is
one
it
that nobody
called?
watches but you. I get it. Let's just move on. What's next?
I
Anyway, he comes back. Jonathan Taylor Thomas
All
comes
right,
back.
so we already know.
wait.
Mike,
Mr. Right.
but, excuse me, my thought is not finished. The further you get into the film, I feel like they gain a little more confidence
Oh,
in their
yeah, they
acting
do.
skill, and
That's
it's
typical.
better. And
That's
I feel
Yeah.
like the dialogue.
It's like how you guys improved with the show. You guys
Right.
finally are
wow,
able to do these reviews after your first time.
bitch.
But
Wow.
No, hold on. I'm
You're
saying it as an
like
example,
me,
though.
right?
You guys were extremely nervous
We
when you
were
started the
very
show,
nervous, you're right.
and now
And now
you
we
were
don't
so
give a
comfortable.
fuck. I was talking, sir.
I know,
No,
but I'm
kidding.
saying that's a good example.
Yes, exactly. You're right.
Wow.
I'm not entirely saying
I'm
it's a bad
feeling
thing.
a little
though.
overwhelmed here.
Hey,
she's the one that went completely
overboard.
overboard.
Without
I'm
them,
trying.
because man, we can't even talk without them. They're just
No
like
kidding. I
Sorry.
know.
All right,
They're little
all right,
badgers
hold
at
on.
each
Let's
other.
just cut her out.
Ooh!
I'm gonna throw my very expensive phone at your face.
That's not what I mean.
You go ahead.
We're
I'm
gonna
not
cut
holding
you
What
it.
I'm
off her
saying
now.
is I'm agreeing with you that
All right.
the acting is subpar, and that's what I would change.
All right.
I would give them a little more guidance.
All
and
right,
better
Ingot, what
dialogue.
about you?
Wait, what are we talking about again?
We're basically doing. And you started complaining here.
She's very
sorry.
distracted at home.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, Retro Evolution is where we talk about if you were given full direction for the movie, like if you were to direct the movie, what would you change about it and why?
You're tough.
I didn't
Wait,
even move.
why would I want to change
I didn't even
perfection? Because when this
No, I
came
didn't.
out, this was the movie.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
here's
sure
the thing.
why you're asking me
You
to change
okay?
something that should
Okay,
not be
okay,
changed.
okay. First of all, you gave a 45 on your score. You
That's
couldn't.
true.
Yeah, to
So,
be nice.
so to be nice.
Yeah.
That's not professional, Ingot.
I knocked some
Ugh.
points off somewhere just to make you not hate me because I was trying to be good for the
I
podcast.
would have been fine with you
This is
giving me
a
a score of 50.
Look, I love this movie.
I know. I
can't
would have been
blame
fine
me.
with you giving it a 50. I don't mind.
Okay. Look, whatever.
He
I
just
I
likes to
tried split
argue.
with You. It didn't work.
See?
You caught me.
I just like to know
What am I
why.
saying?
He's like darkness himself. He lures you in, and then he gets all mad at you when
What
you
the
feed into his argument.
Why compare me to him?
I love Jack. I love Jack and Lily together, so I can see the.
Though,
Yeah,
if you're-
they're lovely.
and
Though,
Yeah.
honestly, that almost feels like a compliment more than a freaking
It
insult.
is.
So thank you.
It is. You're
Uh,
welcome.
Hey, look, whatever. Wait, okay. My son is standing behind me. Are you gonna really make me explain myself? I just give it whatever. Like I love this movie.
All right. All right. So, what about Rocky Horror Picture Show? What would you change about it and why?
I suppose, personally, since everybody was so grieved about how unclear the story was, I would maybe try and make the storyline,
A little
the
bit
plot
more
line, a little
cohesive.
more cohesive.
Yeah.
Clear.
That's honestly my only complaint. The whole
Yeah.
thing was great, except for that I couldn't follow the story. So.
Same here.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
The story was honestly the only thing I believed was the real problem.
Right.
Everything else was
Yeah.
just pretty damn
Cohesiveness would have
good.
been nice.
And heck, if the story was more cohesive, all these scores I gave it would have been a full-on 10
Right.
after that.
So it makes me sad to hear. I've heard that Tim Curry was kind of typecast after this movie.
Unfortunately.
And he never could get. This is his most popular role. He's tried, but has never lived up to this role. It makes me sad because he has a lot of talent.
He sure
I wish
does.
they had utilized him in more like, I don't know. I guess drag queen films only got popular recently, but he would have been amazing. Like I don't know. Like
Actually,
I
They
feel
did.
like
They
he was
him.
awesome.
It was sad.
However, at the same time, he has done a lot of great, interesting roles after Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I'm
Like,
guessing he
there's-
did some verbal, some
He did
cartoon
voice acting.
character voicing.
he actually did the
Voice-
he
Voice
did
work.
Captain Hook in the Peter Pan cartoon.
That's so cool.
Nice.
It's amazing. He was a very threatening villain, but also
Because
very
he has
sophisticated.
A great voice.
Oh yeah.
So
And
he
I
was
meant
very
seductive.
like basically he will murder you in a nanosecond, but at the same time he might let you go if you decide to read a line from Shakespeare.
Oh.
He's
Like I
just
said,
a-
he's
Yes.
very close to the original
Yes.
Hook.
Yeah.
So that shows that he has a lot of great villain voice talent.
Yes.
He could do very well.
Ingot is right though that
It's
Rocky
it's
Horror
set-
really set back his career. It did.
That and Legend, both of them.
Well, no. Rocky Horror had a very negative effect on his
Depends on what
career.
you. It
moving
depends on
forward.
how you know him because
Right.
honestly, it's hard to say. I might have even seen him as Pennywise in It before I watched Legend. So,
Right.
Yeah.
but my mom has always been about like, oh, that's Tim Curry. So whenever he's been in a movie, I know who Tim Curry is. And then also a movie we haven't touched on that he's awesome in is Clue. He was
Yes!
awesome in Clue.
I know, we gotta
one of my
watch that.
favorite movies of all time ever. Thank you, Ingot.
In
Oh.
fact,
Yes.
In fact, BilliePetal, we were talking about, and I
Getting
were
it
talking
last
about
night, yeah.
talking about either getting it or renting it just to watch it because I've
Yes.
actually never seen
Oh,
it.
it's one of the best. It's
Oh,
it's a
so
comedy.
when Mr.
so-
Ingram
I've seen
and I
both.
started dating,
I've seen that movie
that was
twice.
one of the movies he
It's
showed
been a
me.
long time though. I was like maybe
it's
7.
really it shows how diverse he could be as an actor.
That's
It's almost
Oh, yeah.
actually
It's strictly comedy.
That's
way,
why. That's
you know?
what's sad though. Is
It
that
is. He
Actually,
got pigeonholed. Yeah.
If you think about it, technically that almost kind of reminds me of Adam West and what happened to him.
Right.
Because he was actually
Oh my
typecasted.
god, he was amazing. Okay, so first of all, Adam West was obviously famous okay, you and I, Mr. Retroactive, we're babies compared to Adam West. You too,
Yeah.
Desi.
Hold
Sorry,
on.
I don't know what your name is, Desiree.
Hold on. I've watched most of his
but-
work.
My
And you want to
dad
know the
used
crazy
to
thing
watch it
is?
He was
all
the
the
original
time.
Adam
Batman,
West-
wasn't he?
Yes, but here's the thing. Adam West was supposed to be 007.
Oh no.
What?
He was supposed to be 007, but he was forced into his contract, and guess who just happened to get the
studios.
role as soon as he was denied?
Wow.
Sean Connery.
See, that's the
Aw,
hideous
man.
overlord power
That's
of
rough.
studios.
And here's the
Yeah.
thing.
Screw
I actually
everything
heard
up.
some of his lines, and when he was doing some of the lines from 007, he would have been good.
Yeah,
No,
He was that
okay,
good.
Almost at the same time, okay, that being said, I'm glad that he didn't get it because I feel like Adam West is iconic as Batman. You can't get rid of him.
That's the
I
problem.
wouldn't want to confuse him with 007 because Adam West is what I think of when I think of Batman,
Right.
and all his successors are good, but they're not the same. So,
Yeah,
You-
sure.
and just to say, I've embraced him. My first exposure to him was Family Guy as Mayor West. So,
That
and
is
my
so
mom,
funny.
my crazy lunatic mom was the one who was like, "That's the original Batman," and then I looked into him, so I was like, "Wow, this guy is cool." Like, I didn't know. Like,
So you're-
Actually, here's actually something pretty cool. In Batman the Animated Series, he actually plays the Grey Ghost. And he actually works together with the new Batman at the time, Kevin Conroy.
Oh, that's wild.
So there's actually an episode in Batman the Animated Series where the old Batman meets the new Batman. And they
That's
work
crazy.
together to beat down criminals.
So what you guys are both saying is that Rocky Horror for Tim Curry is, on the one hand, it really held him back, it pigeonholed him as an actor, but on the other hand, there's a whole, culture of people in the world from our age, from before, till into the future, that hold him in high regard for
Oh, yeah,
his
yeah.
Exactly.
role
It's
as-
Yeah.
basically a
It's
double-edged
catch-22.
sword.
Yeah,
It's a double-edged sword. Where on one hand, it definitely held him back. But at the same time, he's now one of the biggest icons in film history.
Right, exactly. Nobody will ever compare to him
No.
in that role.
Yeah, it's like basically
And either roles for that
Very
matter,
true.
because him as Darkness was like, wow.
He was amazing.
Yeah,
I
it
would
was,
totally been like, sure, I'll be your bride.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right,
He's
so
great.
oh yeah.
with that, we have a few questions for each of you guys. So here we go. The first one is, what was your favorite fantasy film if we're not counting Legend?
Willow.
Wind in the Willows?
No, Willow.
Wait, well, okay, so any film aside from Legend?
Any fantasy film that isn't Legend.
Willow.
Oh, that's, you know how long I could go? Like, give me
Yeah,
a minute.
no.
For
Like,
me,
give me 5
I can
years.
already answer
Too
mine.
many.
It's Lord of the Rings, the trilogy. That will always be my number one favorite, including my friend
Probably Harry
Jeffrey.
Potter.
Me and my friend Jeffrey were so obsessed with Lord of the
That's
Rings.
true.
Probably Harry Potter.
Harry Potter comes second for me.
I'm gonna go with as a child. It was Willow.
Okay.
So.
Oh, controversy blame me the part, but I'll
Wait,
answer
can
it
you
later.
guys still talk? Because also my fantasy world included the Stephen King universe, so I need a minute.
Okay, I could see Stephen King being in there. Because
you're
they're-
screwing with
but-
her.
Because I
Actually-
actually read more Stephen King as a child because I'm that crazy,
Yeah.
and I loved all those books. So I don't
Oh,
know.
I
like,
love
feel
you
like-
so
Actually,
much.
here's the strange thing. That's actually the second question. Since we were talking about Tim Curry, and this person actually knew that he was Pennywise in It, what was your favorite Stephen King film that basically
The
from
Shining
book
or It?
to film adaptation?
Shining and
Oh
It.
shit! There's almost nothing good from that. Like, hold on. Like, okay, wait, okay. So.
Okay, no, I am willing to
King
disagree with
actually-
you.
Wait, no, I'm going first.
All right.
Stephen King actually did write The Green Mile, and
Ooh, I
his
love
book
that.
is awesome, and they
Yes.
actually did a good adaptation
I am
to film.
so pissed that they didn't get an Oscar for that. Fuck them.
Yeah, I have to agree. That is a fabulous movie.
It's amazing.
I cried and felt happy and cried and angst and oh Lord, so many different feelings with that movie.
I thought Doctor Sleep was really good, really well
Mm-hmm.
adapted.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen the movie yet. I've read the book though.
Actually, you want to know the
movie is
strange
really
thing
good.
is? The director actually worked with Stephen King on the film.
Ah, that shows.
Doctor Sleep.
Yeah.
You should respect the writer.
Okay.
Actually,
no, I get
the
it.
director
I
was a
can
big
go for it
fan of
now,
Stephen
but,
King.
Like, I'm
Oh,
a
that's
huge
cool.
fan of just the book, so I need to actually check out. Now that I have your recommendation, I will check them out.
Yeah,
So,
because here's the
wait,
thing.
Did your friend leave? Because we were
No,
like
he's
all over the
still
board.
he's still idle.
Okay.
When it comes down to the Stephen King, when it comes to Doctor Sleep, yes, the director actually not only was one of the biggest fans of Stephen King, but personally asked him for anything that they could do input for the movie, to a point where
man,
that's the
that's
reason
great.
why it's as good as it is. And the strange thing is, even Stephen King found a way to adapt it in a way that would fit with the Stanley Kubrick version.
Right.
In this case.
Which
Did
is
you just
crazy
Pet
because
Sematary?
that one. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Those are really
like
good.
knock him
I thought
because
those films
that
were really
version
I like
was
The
scary,
Shining, I
but
like It, I
it
like
didn't
Pet
follow
Sematary.
King's
There's
version.
so
So
many. I love
I'm
Stephen
glad they
King, so-
remade it, and I love the remake, and I love the book. And
But technically, Stephen King only remade The Shining. He made it into the same thing like the TV
no,
mini.
but like
Yeah.
the Kubrick version, he had nothing to do with. There was a remake
Mm-hmm.
on TV that followed the book a little more. The book is awesome. Like
Yeah.
I can't.
That one
I
was directed by
cannot,
Stephen
like,
King.
Recommend Stephen King enough. I'm a huge Stephen King buff and fan.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he's amazing.
When it comes
He's
down
my
to it, yeah.
idol. If I could meet an author, it would be him. Like for sure.
I really hate the Mist film though. That.
No.
I like The Mist.
okay.
I like The Mist. I
No,
just
no.
don't like the ending.
The ending is
Okay,
the
no,
ending
no,
strays away
wait,
from
no,
the book.
Listen. Okay, so actually, the ending to the movie was actually a lot better than the book. That's the one thing I'm gonna say. Stephen King didn't end it that great, and the film made it crazy, and that's why you're mad this many years later because they did a good job. So
No,
Stephen King
okay,
almost-
That's
he
okay,
didn't know how to
okay.
end this book, and the movie ended differently.
Okay.
And it was great. So.
No, I am going to
Sorry.
disagree with you, because if we take a look at another film I have mentioned
Oh, no,
so many
please.
freaking times
No,
on this
no.
freaking channel,
I Am Legend. We know.
Oh,
we
please,
know.
no.
I am
Oh, I
Legend.
just
I
finished
beg
it.
you.
I am
Thank
Legend.
you.
That is fucking bullshit
Oh,
that they
Lord.
ever destroyed
Okay,
the
wait.
ending of that
Okay,
fucking
wait, hold
book.
on. I've heard that's a good movie, and I haven't watched it. Please don't spoil it for me.
Oh,
I'm
love
just gonna
the
tell you
movie.
this: they
I love
botched
the-
the ending
I like the
of the
movie
film.
though. Odessa.
Watch the.
I mean,
if,
Ignat.
if you Ingot. But here's the
Okay.
here's the thing.
You already
Hold
told me
on,
I'm
hold
crying
on,
because
hold on.
of a dog. I don't want to. I just
I know,
need time. I
I know,
haven't
I know.
watched it. Just don't tell me anymore.
I know. I'm just gonna tell you this. Right near the ending, pause the movie, get back to the main menu, watch special features, and watch the real ending.
want to hear
Nathaniel,
anymore.
don't talk about it
I love
anymore.
you. Please stop.
Fine.
Please stop. Please stop.
Okay.
As you guys can tell, I am not. Even though I do love the movie, the ending was one of the one things I absolutely got pissed off on. I am so
Nathaniel.
great.
Stop talking
Okay,
about
okay,
movies that I've been
okay,
told to
okay,
watch.
fine. Hey, I didn't spoil
No,
anything,
we
at
could
least.
have like an
I know.
entire
That's why I'm saying.
argument about books
Alright.
to
Trying to
movies.
drown you out. I'm sorry.
So-
Let's move on.
Alright,
I
so
love
here we
you.
go.
I'm-
All right.
Man, your friend thinks we're crazy. The one that's not part of our family, he's like, "What the fuck are they doing?" Like,
We're just very passionate, creative people. That's what it
Sure.
is.
All right. The next question is,
Intense.
if you were given a chance to put Tim Curry in a film of one of your favorite films, which one would it be and why?
Ooh, God.
That's really tough, honestly.
yeah.
I think I would
feel
like to.
He's an actor that can almost do anything, so
Yeah.
it's like, wow, I gotta really think about it.
I think I would like to see him in Sherlock Holmes,
Ooh.
a Sherlock Holmes film.
Yeah.
That's almost like Clue, though.
That's-
You gotta pick something different, a different
Okay.
genre.
What about Aladdin?
No, don't think that would work as
Yes,
well.
as in, I mean, I love Robin
The
Williams.
Sultan?
Yes,
Oh, he could play the Sultan,
Oh,
yeah.
wow, yeah, he could. Jafar. He could be
yes,
Jafar.
Jafar.
Actually, Jafar.
Holy
No,
moly.
that's the thing,
Oh
though.
my
He
God,
it would take away from the.
He would be an amazing
He
He
Jafar.
would,
No,
but at the
not
same
the
time, it would
Sultan.
also take away from the
To
original
be
performance.
honest, I would like to see Tim Curry in a modern day thriller. I would like to see him as a villain that you don't expect, because I feel like that's the
Yeah,
one
guys.
sort of.
Well, but wait,
in a
that's
modern
the one
setting,
thing
like,
we can't
right
have,
now-
because he's so old and he's so decrepit and we love him and we
actually-
treasure him, but he can't do it.
No,
Actually,
I know,
here's
but
something.
my wish would be to see him in a modern day thriller, because I think he would be phenomenal and terrifying.
like a
Actually,
psychological thriller.
yes, a psychological
Actually,
thriller.
here's actually one particular if he is gonna do Final Destination, what if he was the like in Final Destination?
Final Destination.
Hold on.
Are we being serious?
No, the reason why. No, hold on. Thank you. The reason why I'm saying that, what if he was like the medical examiner in the film? He was played
Oh,
by the
that
same
white
guy
guy.
who did. He's the same guy who did Candyman.
Candyman, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He could actually do a
Yeah,
very
he
good,
could
almost
definitely
like he
do
can
that.
explain the story and, of
Yeah.
course, whatever this thing
No,
is.
That would be
Yeah,
amazing
yeah.
to see him as like the narrator.
Yeah.
of the
Exactly.
story. But
Wouldn't it be interesting?
I think it would be very interesting to see him as the serial killer.
No, that
I
would be
do.
too much of a generic casting. He's always been the villain.
No, but like a psychological, like he'd be. You don't really meet him as
With
the
his
villain
acting
until the
style,
very end.
no. Even for me, he would never be able to get away with it.
What do you
I would
mean?
know he's a villain.
But yeah,
just from
that's-
his
sometimes
look.
you know that. You know, sometimes you know the villain is the villain from the get go. I just think that he would be good fucking with people's heads, because he can be really disturbing.
What, you mean like Jigsaw?
No, well, not necessarily. Just
All right.
saying like.
I have a couple more questions for the group, and then we'll end it for today. One particular question is that, and this is actually very interesting. If you were, why do you think so many people get typecasted so many times nowadays? Why? What, in your opinion, would be a good example as to why
Ignorance and fear.
you think ignorance
No,
and fear?
Yeah.
maybe not, but 'cause sometimes somebody does such a good job, like, it's hard to see them as anyone else. So, okay, Tim Curry, okay, so I didn't actually see him as Dr. Frankfurter, the first job. Like, I watched him as Pennywise, and then as that crazy concierge in Home Alone, and then... and
Well, that's
then,
him.
well, also with Legend, and also as him. So he's done a lot of stuff, but like, I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, it's hard to say what makes people typecast. Like, I feel like they're all super talented. And I don't know what makes people like typecast them. It's maybe how much they're memorable. Like, their one role is so memorable, you can't ever like. I don't know.
Well,
That's
but
why
that's-
it
you
says
can go, like,
typecast. So.
That's the other side of the coin there, being that, you know, they're afraid to put you in a different role because what if you bomb it? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So
That's-
then they
it's
put
both sides
you
of
in
the
the
coin.
same role forever, but
Yeah.
you have so much more talent. So
Yeah, exactly.
I get that. I almost feel like sometimes Tim Curry might have been wasted. He's done a lot of cool stuff. Just the fact that he
has,
could
yeah.
be both Pennywise and Darkness is so different from Dr. Frankfurter. Like,
Right,
yeah.
Definitely.
Well, and look at that film that Robin Williams did, where he was the killer.
Camera,
Right?
that
That
photo.
That
Oh my
movie
god,
did-
okay, 1 hour photo?
that-
Holy
That
Something
movie
shit.
did really poorly
Okay,
with
I
audiences.
saw that movie in the theaters as a teenager because I loved Robin Robin Williams. And
Right.
I didn't know what I was going to see, and when I saw it, it was the first thing I'd ever seen him in like that. And I was like,
It's horrifying.
What's happening?
It is.
What is happening? I almost cried. I actually didn't know, and I almost cried. So,
It's terrifying
and I
to see him
respect
in
him
that
as an
role.
actor, but at the same time, like, he was definitely typecast.
Right.
Yeah.
He couldn't get out of his comedy
And that-
level.
and that-
I think that happens
when
a
he
lot.
finally did something, it was crazy. So
I think that's what happens a lot with comedies, though.
Right.
People that do
Actually, but here's the thing,
comedic-
though. Robin Williams did stand-up comedy for quite a while before he ever went into acting, so he actually felt more
but that was
comfortable
all
in the
funny.
comedic role.
That
Yeah, but
whatever
funny
photo, Did you
stuff.
actually see that movie?
Doubtfire
That was
and-
really scary.
But
Yes.
what
That
you're
was
saying
different.
is,
Like,
you're asking, like, why
Yeah.
do people get
Personally,
typecast? You know,
Yeah,
that's-
because
That's part of it.
Yeah.
Look how
For
poorly
me-
it was received, that
True.
film, 1 hour. And he
Yeah.
was amazing in that film. That film is
Yeah, it was
yeah,
creepy.
but it
deeply
was so
fucking
scary
disturbing.
Yeah,
because,
it
you
was
know, I
creepy.
remembered him as freaking Peter Pan
Right.
and, like,
Yeah.
Dr. Patch Adams. I'm like, what is
And that
happening?
movie bombed.
Like,
It really did bad. Because people didn't want to see their beloved.
oh yeah, everyone
Oh,
missed
hey,
you.
welcome back.
Hi.
Hey.
All right,
It was amazing.
for me
It
though,
was
I
awesome.
definitely think there's a lot of things that go into
We
it.
are
and
now
it
talking about
depends.
Robin
It's a
Williams. Way off
complicated
topic,
Alright.
so you're.
thing that
So all right, so we're gonna go with the final question. I'm actually really glad that PhoenixFire is here.
Mrs. Doubtfire. Genie.
Yes, that one.
I love
that
that
one's good
movie.
Hey guys, all right, I'm actually really glad
Retro
PhoenixFire is here.
Mork and Mindy.
God, fucking
Oh,
bless
wait,
it.
Retro doesn't know Mork and Mindy.
Hey,
Never mind.
you gotta deal with it. You love us. You have to deal with this.
You're,
Let it
Right,
go.
Retro?
He
you're
didn't
lucky
buy
I
it.
do, or otherwise I would have already cut you guys off from the show.
Wow.
I'm not that hard.
Okay, last question.
All right, here we go with the last question. I'm glad PhoenixFire is here because he can finally answer this one. If you were given a chance to change any movie franchise, what would you change?
That's such a broad
Oh
question.
god, that's a good one. There's so many.
Basically, like, if you were given a choice to take over a film franchise that, in your opinion, that could have done better, and change it around to what you think
Nightmare on Elm Street.
should be, then what would you pick?
That's funny. I
You
was thinking
want me
of
to
Elm
kill
Street
you?
too.
I will actually build a Freddy glove and stab you with it.
Wait, does it have to be a film franchise? I'm really sad that, like, Game of Thrones went down the drain because,
That's
you know
just-
what, the writer is still in the
Sorry.
middle of it, and, yeah. But, no.
I just think it's a coincidence. Someone was like me, they were thinking
we're
Freddy
there.
Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. I was thinking that.
I'm with
Friday the 13th.
insane people.
I lost you.
Fuck is wrong with you?
Alright.
I think, you know what, that's such a broad question, though, because there are stuff that I would, like, the Harry Potter movies come to mind immediately because they left so much of the books out.
That's
I
true.
would want to take that over and fix that.
Yeah, but at the
Um,
same time, that would also increase the runtime, which means people wouldn't necessarily stay in the
Well,
seats
fuck
for too
them.
long.
You don't know how to watch my movie if you don't want to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's how you make money there.
Yeah.
So what?
So I guess in this
I'm
case
just-
they had to
that's my
cut
answer,
corners.
You know?
Um,
there are several that I would
staring
change.
oh, thanks. But yeah, for me, if I were to personally change any film franchise, and I
Sorry,
think
I'm back. My headset might have died.
no worries, we can still hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, but honestly, for a film franchise, I almost feel
I got
like.
a good one.
Wait, which one's yours, Phoenix?
I got a good one. You guys probably not would have thought of this one, but the James Bond universe.
Oh, okay. What would you change?
Remember, there's 24 movies in the franchise, right? And it's
Yeah.
like, it basically, after the first movie, the next movie should kind of continue on for that story, leading into the second one, and so
Oh.
on.
That's good.
'Cause
I thought that technically was the idea, especially since Sean Connery's been in like several of those movies
No, but there are like
before he
several
got switched
different-
out with someone else.
Hey, and by several, you mean friggin' all of them, but whatever.
Here's a good example. Take On Her Majesty's Secret Service. It's George Lazenby, and he breaks the fourth wall so many times.
Oh yeah, you're right. Shoot.
To Sean Connery. And then when Sean Connery came back for Diamonds Are Forever, it's like, you just know he's going after Blofeld. They make no indication. Is he avenging Tracy? Is it out of revenge? Like,
All right, so hold on. All right, that's still pretty cool though. All right, everyone, we're actually gonna end it right here. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me here. I want to thank PhoenixFire, Ingot, Puganator2020 and BilliePetal for joining us here today. We do have something we normally do. We ask for what type of review would you like us to do in the future. We actually did get your suggestion last time, which was, of course, Rocky Horror Picture Show and Legend. So, what other ones would you want to do this time?
I thought we were going to do horror team-ups.
I thought we were
Horror
gonna do
team-ups.
We should do
it
it.
and it.
Alright, so it
It
sounds
and
like...
remake it.
We did.
The Thing is also a really fun original.
No, that's
remake.
good, but I feel like coming off of the Kim Curry movies, we should try to do it as opposed to the new It movie, because there's a lot to talk about, so...
That is true, and not
Just
to mention...
do the it.
Yeah, do
The
Stephen King's
original
It,
It.
the original, because that one, it's not only long, but it's enough to do its own review on.
That's true, because it's
Yeah.
2 huge sections.
All right.
And you know what?
Yeah,
I
ultimately
know
end up
so
talking
much
about
about
them.
Stephen King and It. You could ask me anything, and I will talk to you, like, 24 hours a day. Like, yeah, you call on me.
All right, so we have,
Retro. I can't believe you forgot you wanted to do horror movie crossovers.
and actually we are actually
Real crossover.
actually
I'm
no,
sure.
that's actually a good idea. We did promise to do that. Actually, so we are going to be doing horror movie crossovers.
What do you mean by
Yeah, we did it.
crossovers?
Meaning like Freddy vs. Jason being examples, or
No,
some of the
okay,
original
wait, you have to
Dracula,
start it out.
Frankenstein, that sort of stuff.
Okay, you have to start this out with a critical, like, It versus It movie, the new versus old. So,
Yeah.
like, just...
We will. We
Yeah.
will. Just,
Okay.
however, we did promise PhoenixFire we would be doing that, and we'll be doing that the week after. Because
okay,
next
well,
week,
he and I are in competition now, so...
here's the thing though.
That's
Next,
it.
hold on. Next Saturday, we're going to be reviewing Hook, which is going to be me and Ryan. Unless you guys want to join in.
Oh,
Oh, I
love
will
that
join
movie.
in.
All right,
If you
Ingot's
want
joining
me,
in.
I'll be there.
All right, so
I
Ingot-
will, yes.
Alright, so we got Ingot joining in, along with, of course, that. So,
TMTT.
alright, we got another one. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle franchise. Oh, good lord. Alright, so we have another suggestion. So I have to write that down. But yeah, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles definitely happening. Freddy vs. Jason, and we're going to do
It
one of the
versus It.
original old classic horror crossovers from back in the early 1900s.
Don't forget, we also did agree on GoldenEye and, of course, the first-person shooters.
I already have that written down. GoldenEye and Perfect
Okay.
Dark.
Well, I might not go on those, but okay.
I think we should do the Aliens.
Easy. Well, if you're a fan of
franchise
James Bond,
That's
you
so
can always come give your input for that. Because
All right.
So much there.
the GoldenEye video game is based
Man,
on...
I might just join up just for your voice. We'll see.
Oh my god.
Okay. Okay. Hang on for a moment. All right. So here's the schedule. All right. First. Fuck.
Okay, my dear, I read Discord. I'll leave you voice messages whenever I can.
Oh my god, I'm using
Kill
my
me.
fiance's account. Please don't. Like,
You could get in trouble for that.
Oh, you're done.
We'll stick
Okay,
to
bye.
reviewing.
Alright, so here's how the schedule is going to be going. We have, of course, Hook happening. We're going to BilliePetal, myself, Ingot, and Ryan. We're going to be doing a review on that. Next week, we're going to be doing horror crossovers. Me and PhoenixFire are going to be doing that. If you guys want to join in, that'd be awesome. And then, of course, the week after, we're going to do The Thing, as well as, of course, Starship Troopers. Go with a sci-fi motif
Oh
on that
yeah,
one.
let's do it.
And finally, the last one, which was,
Mythbusters.
and of course, the very first, and I'm gonna let you guys know we are doing mainly horror films and horror
October.
video games in October. So the very first one is gonna be one that is recommended by Puganator, The Fly original and remake.
Oh,
Now we're gonna start with that one.
Nice.
So I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. Do you guys have any final words before we go?
Nope. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
don't
having
forget,
us.
you're supposed to do a discussion on Mythbusters.
I
Freddy
will.
is gonna be upset you
Oh.
forgot.
Oh yeah, shoot, I forgot about him. But yeah, don't worry, we're good.
I'm gonna rat you out.
Okay, here's the thing. I did promise that, and we are going to do it. We're going to do that
Phoenix is
before
the snitch.
October. I'm making sure of that. So it's going to be happening either late August or early September. So we're definitely going to be doing that before the month of October
Okay, you have
rolls
to give
around.
us the schedule because
Of course. So until
I've
then,
already forgotten it.
I hope you all have an amazing day. I'll see you all next time. And this is Mr. RetroActive signing out.
see you later.
Have a great day, everyone.
Hey guys.